the biggest selection we've ever had. With those 4 steps, it is my personal mission to make Rob's Site Ford the easiest, most value-driven Ford dealership in Kansas City. No BS.
That's why Rob's Site Ford is the only dealership I'll send my friends and family to. But you're forgetting one thing.
What's that?
Rob's Site Ford is Kansas City's top-rated Google Ford dealership.
Good call. Can't forget about that. Check out Rob's Site Ford in South Kansas City at 135th and State Line, ROBSIGHT.com.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to 1 player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Get 5 quarts of O'Reilly Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $29.99. In-store only. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's playoff time, KC. Join Cody and Gold Friday from 10 to 2 as they broadcast live from the Rally House at Oak Park. Shop the latest KC styles and official postseason gear, plus enter to win Rally House prizes while you're there. Details at 965thefan.com.
Championship week coverage of the Chiefs and Bills on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Missouri side, heading out 435 westbound, things are slow coming out of the Grandview Triangle, and then it's heavy crossing the state line with an accident on the Kansas side slowing you. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Lots of flavors this week. A cheese bag, a chip, a bologna cake.
Oh, God. That was mayonnaise, wasn't it? Like in between the layers?
So I woke up this morning, right, as you do every day. You get up and you start to figure out what's going on in the world.
Oh, God. Have you sent that to Mac yet?
No, I have not.
It's disturbing.
And so there's a Twitter account called @MessedUpFoods, which you should follow. It is fun. @MessedUpFoods, and it's just bad food. And today it's got to be like 14 layers, a bologna cake. Ugh. Bologna layered in between a mixture of cream cheese and ranch dressing, along with aerosol sharp cheddar cheese and crackers. Bring this to your next party. So I am retweeting that for everybody to see. The bologna cake. Mac, I want your reaction. Please look at that right now. That's not a question. That is a task and an order. To please look, I just retweeted it, and you can follow them at Messed Up Foods.
That is revolting.
There's no way.
Yeah, like the aerosol cheese is like the flowers that would be icing on the cake. And
So gross.
it's got to be 13 or 14 different layers. Bologna, cream cheese and ranch, bologna, cream cheese and ranch, bologna. And it like kind of thicker bologna
Very
too.
thick.
Like, yeah, it looks awful.
THICC thick. Oh, no chance if that's what you got. No chance in hell. All right, so smash or pass. We'll start off with
Smash.
Yeah.
You're smashing that cake?
No, I'm passing on that 100%, 1,000%. But I do want to start out with some people that reached out to me, to get some plug and get some stuff. So it's Low and Slow. They're smoked barbecue chips.
Ooh, they smell great.
Yeah, the room is. I know you don't eat on air if you want to.
Yeah.
It's there for you. If
I
not,
eat and I get the hiccups. I just want to deal with it. You know?
So Mac and I are going to start off with this. Cody's going to come in here and ruin everything.
And Cody's going to start touching things.
Yeah, he's not going to touch my chip.
No.
But I got the.
I'm ready.
You want to do the cheese puff first? So this is from. You can get these at Hy-Vee, other grocery stores as well. But this is the puff.
Looks awesome. Smells great.
Yeah,
I would
smells
smash
awesome.
these
You know what I
after
mean?
the show.
Oh yeah. Well, we have some.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break that. Look at that beautiful cross section. Right? Ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah.
Oh, come on.
Smash.
What does that remind me of?
Probably like a smoked Cheeto.
It's
Would you dip those in anything?
You don't need to.
You don't need to,
but
yeah.
you
These are
absolutely
nuts,
could.
Am
These
I
are
wrong to
great.
say if you have flavored chips, you don't need dip? Dip is only for plain chips.
I mean, I'm weird. I did that in cottage cheese, but you don't need to.
I really like these.
What does that remind me of? You definitely get the smoked flavor.
This is one of those chips where you eat one or two, and it's like now I'm at 3 or 4, and now we've eaten 50 of these.
What happened to the bag?
Mac ate them all.
Yeah. No, they're not bad.
Yeah, they smell really, really good. Yeah.
Love
Smash.
that. Smash.
On that. Again,
Big
you can
smash.
find these in your grocery stores.
Uh-huh.
Go to Hy-Vee today. Low and Slow. They got the cheese puffs. They actually have like their own variation of a Frito they gave me as well. And then they have the rigid lay.
Hey, see,
Almost.
that's really good. The rigid chips, the Ruffles have ridges, thing.
This
It
is where
makes
you
a
get-
difference.
This is where you get your dip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
This
could
is
be a
where you
dipper.
get, you know what I mean? You got like the Grand Canyon Valley there in these chips.
So what is this? Is this barbecue? Is this what we're doing? Okay.
Solid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You don't need dip then. No.
Don't need dip.
Those are good.
Again, would work, but
Smash.
all day.
Yeah. I go cheese puff over
Really
the
good.
chip though.
Really? I think I'm chip.
Like a piece of bologna cake with a side of cheese puffs. No way.
That bologna cake may be the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, well done. Well done, Low and
Really
Slow.
good.
Very good chips.
Love those
You
chips.
got another smash or pass idea. They're now selling bags of Velveeta.
That's exactly right. You heard the Dustman correctly. Okay, Velveeta for a limited time has now come out with Velveeta. I guess they're calling them singles, right? And this is from the New York Post, and it's Velveeta wants to make sure that you do not go without having your cheese. The Kraft Heinz Company brand announced a new form of its beloved cheese product, but fans are going to have to act fast to get it. The company is making its way to the condiment aisle with their launch of Vel to Go, which are single-serve, limited edition packets of Velveeta cheese.
Hell yeah.
And the problem for me is why I am a pass on this one, because their advertisement is terrible. It's the picture of somebody stuffing a Velveeta single in their back pocket.
Yeah.
So you're going to sit on it, warm up the cheese with your ass, and then put it on your chips? Like, I'm out.
Yeah, the picture, if you're familiar of what the Born in the USA album cover looks like with
that's right.
Springsteen's ass and the hat in the back of it. Same thing, but that bag of Velveeta. So you can just like Capri Sun this thing?
Yeah, it says the on-the-go packets, which will be sold in 3-box lots, each containing 4 pouches of the product. I don't know what that means. Will be available for $5.91, but only while supplies last. Velveeta to go. Velveeta single servings. Have you ever been in a spot where you're like, damn, I wish I had a single serving of Velveeta right now?
Yeah.
Has that ever been a need for somebody? Because things get invented because we need them
Yes,
for the most
right.
part. Has anybody needed a single serving of Velveeta?
Every day of my life.
No.
Make a little thing of rice. And then you got a little package of Velveeta. You got a little cheese rice.
Cheese? No.
What?
No.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
Yeah, I'm out on that.
They're like a smoked salmon fillet over a little thing of cheese rice.
Why not Velveeta cheese on my salmon rice?
Yeah, you make a grilled cheese, but instead of squared cheese or cold cheese, you just use that in the middle of the grilled bread. Be ooey gooey delicious.
No.
I smash. I don't need to drink it, but I mean to have a little extra.
I just can't get past the picture of the guy putting it in his back pocket.
Keeps it warm.
That's the problem.
It's like that gummy bear in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
No.
Been in my pocket all day. They're nice and warm.
Nope.
To keep it with the theme of the game, smash or pass, wings or burn-ins?
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking yesterday. I said, I think wings are the most prominent food in America. Then we started to look and we found some lists that had some weird things on there. Like, what was the one where we're like, all right, that's not true.
There was one it was like a fish product or something, I thought you said.
It was that. It was like miso soup or something.
Yes,
it was a top 10 food in America. I'm like, no, it's not.
No.
Miso, don't believe that.
Yeah, not a chance. No. We all go to the Japanese hibachis and enjoy them, and everybody gets miso soup there. You're not getting miso soup outside of the the hibachi experience, right? You're not just rolling to High Vita Day and going, "Where's the miso at?" Like you just don't. That's not like. I think wings are the most prominent food in America. Have you been to a restaurant other than like a First Watch, morning restaurant that doesn't have some sort of wing on the menu?
Yeah,
in America,
have a wing. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Everybody has wings, so.
Yeah.
Oh, the 785. Okay, the 785 did sway me here. Go to McDonald's, get some fries, whip out that single serving Velveeta. Okay, that's not bad.
Somebody says, "Hey Bob, the bologna cake or a Vegemite sandwich?"
Well, I haven't had the Vegemite, but I'll be honest with you, I probably would lean toward the bologna.
I don't know.
And I don't like bologna, and the only ranch I eat is from Smokehouse, and cream cheese I'm fine with, but bologna, cream cheese, and ranch with aerosol cheese, I don't know, man.
I mean, go to McDonald's, like you said, get those fries.
Nathan's fries with the cheese on top is really good.
Yeah, that little side of Velveeta in your back pocket. Yep, and it's already warm.
I think
dip my
Nathan's
fries in
may
it.
use Velveeta on their cheese. You get that with the little fork, and you can stick it in there. That's really good.
Somebody says, "Who raw dogs Velveeta?" I would. It's that good. Like whenever I'd make the Velveeta shells and cheese, I would fold the package up to get the rest of the cheese out, and then like
My
finish
brother
it
would
up.
too. Yeah, I always thought it was so gross.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No cheese left behind.
Who's raw dog? People are raw dogging on the flights these days.
Really?
Yes.
Lucky.
They sit there with no book, no movie, no nothing. They just stare straight ahead for hours.
I thought you were saying like in the bathroom.
No.
I was confused.
Now, they don't let Velveeta on the plane. That's over your 3 ounces. That's considered liquid.
There's no allergy. You can have that be safer than peanuts on a plane.
Yeah, yeah. We're giving you packets of Velveeta today because Bill's allergic to peanuts.
Yeah. Welcome to America in 2025. Can't have peanuts, bags of cheese.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Coming up on the other side, the playoff matchups and storylines throughout the AFC and the NFC. We'll dive into those on the other side here on Fescoe and Dusty on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Kansas City barbecue lovers, do you hear that? Yeah, I don't either, because this ad called for barbecue smoke sound effect, and smoke doesn't make a sound, although it did make a lot of sounds in chewing and enjoying and having the snack on the air as we just smash or pass. We definitely didn't pass. We totally smashed. Me and my buddy Mac here on 96.5 The Fan, because I think I know what Low and Slow snacks are. They're the first ever smoked potato chip and cheese puff company was going for here. All their snacks are covered in a secret barbecue rub that you can totally smell and taste, and then smoked with real hickory wood to get real barbecue flavor. So while there's no smoke sound, there is a ton of smoky greatness in each bag. Low and Slow snacks, real wood, real smoke, real barbecue. Now available at Price Chopper and Hy-Vee stores across Kansas City.
Always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to go able to run and run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You bet we are. Get in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Scoring touchdowns is key to winning in the playoffs, and you can score big by betting on them at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple, like a player to score 6. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. New DraftKings customers can bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. That's code 965 for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over, Kansas only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
Planning to propose this Valentine's Day? Shane Company has your back. Our easy process to create your dream engagement ring is rock solid. 1. Pick your ring setting. 2. Choose your center stone. 3. Personalize it. With our wide selection of beautiful settings and hand-picked diamonds and gemstones, all at competitive prices, your ring will be as unique as your love story. We'll hand-set your ring in our jeweler's workshop right here in our store and protect it with our free lifetime warranty. Walk in with a dream, walk out with the ring that will take their breath away. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
Who is the area's only dealer for Fronius professional welding equipment? Metal by the Foot, located in KC and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber. Call 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. The Grandview Triangle, things get heavy on 470 westbound, and 435 westbound stays off again, on again slow out past Warnell with an earlier accident across the state line that has cleared. Connolly Plumbing Solutions, your neighborhood plumber, this month offering $200 off tank water heater replacement or $400 off tankless. Call Connolly at 913-768-7676 or ConnollyPlumbingSolutions.com. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Listen to the Chiefs and Bills AFC Championship game on Sunday with pregame starting at 2, kickoff at 5:30 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling right here on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Covers.
What?
Allegas.
I mean, it's just one of my favorites of all time.
E-L-G-S, Eagles!
That's the mayor of Philadelphia. That's the mayor of Philadelphia who doesn't know how to spell the Eagles.
Yeah, that's great. Who are the chefs?
Right. Did you see the one that's going around now where it says refs in the end zone?
Haters are going to hate.
I mean, it's not even close. E-L-G-S-E-S.
That's right. Mm-hmm. You'd love to see it.
You got to feel good if you live in Philadelphia. My sister lives there. I said that to her. She goes, nobody likes this mayor anyway. So
the MVP finalists are out. Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff, Lamar Jackson. Those will be your 5 candidates for the MVP. The offensive rookie finalists are also out. Brock Bowers, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, Brian Thomas Jr. The NFL is in good hands, fellas.
Damn.
Go over those MVP candidates again.
Josh Allen, Saquon Barkley, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff.
If you're taking the word literally, most valuable player, it's Barkley. Because I don't think that team is any good without Barkley on it right now. Like, he's the reason they're in the NFC Championship game, right? Am I speaking out of turn here?
No, I have no argument for that.
They have an amazing defense. I give them some credit. Top 2 defense in the league. But I'd agree with you. The offense runs through him.
Yeah, I mean, and look where they are.
Yes,
Like, Burrow didn't make the playoffs, cross his ass off. He's no better than Carson Wentz.
I would say if you're getting critical, I would take Jared Goff off the list because of supporting cast. Yep. To be fair, I mean, this is where it gets really critical. Burrow, you take out because of the record,
right?
Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry helped. Lamar was still fantastic,
right?
Josh Allen, I would argue if you wanted me to not say Saquon Barkley, I'd say Josh Allen.
Yeah, those are the 2 it should come down to.
Because name 4 offensive players that he has.
That's exactly right.
Right? Like, I mean, obviously, Mac and I can sit here and be like, well, he's got Kincaid, he's got this guy, he's got, Hollis, he's got Coleman, he's got Cook, he's, whatever. But, I mean,
hardly a household name like Detroit, Kansas City,
Cincinnati.
I mean, look at all that talent they had on off. And I don't want to hear that their defense didn't give them an eye. You're the MVP. Patrick Mahomes didn't have a defense and went to an AFC Championship game. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, losers.
I mean,
people forget that.
Yeah.
People just, you had a bad defense. Patrick Mahomes didn't have a defense for
I'm
3 years of his career.
I'm tired of the Joe Burrow derangement syndrome because that's what's out there right now. Joe Burrow isn't any better than Andy Dalton in 5 years with the Cincinnati Bengals. Andy Dalton went to the playoffs 5 times in 5 years. Joe Burrow went twice. Stop making excuses for Joe Burrow. Seriously. The Patrick Mahomes year that we went to that AFC title game and almost beat New England with Bob Sutton and Dee Ford and Patrick Mahomes had to put up 50 a game just to give his team an opportunity because that defense was so bad. Yeah. And we're going to sit here and make these excuses for Joe Burrow, who didn't make the playoffs, barely had a winning record? And talk about him in the MVP. Patrick Mahomes had no defense, led the world in everything, went to an AFC Championship game, pulling this defense across the finish line. That's what a most valuable player does. If Joe Burrow is really a valuable player at all at that quarterback position, you need to overcome your defense like Patrick Mahomes does, or sit back down.
Who were the 5 at offensive rookie?
Brock Bowers. Let me find it. It's right here. Brock Bowers, Jaden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay, I'm going to leave the room right now because they just announced the Assistant Coach of the Year finalists. Where the hell is Spags?
What? Yeah. That is true.
Oh, my God.
Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, Brian Flores, Vic Fangio, and Joe Brady.
How is Spags not on that list?
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Because this is going to be Spags versus Joe Brady this weekend, too. And this is Joe Brady's, second shot at Spags' defense. Put up 24 against him last year. Now, all of a sudden, it's like playoff time number 2. Joe Brady, you're a hot commodity. Welcome Steve Spagnuolo to the party as well.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking about it yesterday. Chiefs win this game. Spags would be 3-0 in the postseason against Josh Allen, right? Or 4-0 in the postseason against Josh Allen. 2-1 in Super Bowls against Tom Brady. I mean, you talk about Dragon Slayer right there.
Your Comeback Player of the Year finalist list is also out, the one that Mac loves so much as we go around the league here.
Sword sucks.
Joe Burrow, Sam Darnold, J.K. Dobbins, Christian Gonzalez, Damar Hamlin.
No, Damar Hamlin's not on this list again.
You'll see the graphic come up here on the TV soon, but this is from the NFL, and it's finalists for AP Comeback Player of the Year.
What's he coming back from?
Played last year.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
it's already happened.
Yeah.
Is that the right list? Are you sure you got last year's or this year?
Yes, it's NFL golden check mark.
Wow.
Joe Burrow, Sam Darnold, J.K. Dobbins, Christian Gonzalez, and Damar Hamlin.
Damar didn't play much last. You can't get comeback player of the year 2 years in a row. I mean,
no.
What's Sam? I mean, I'm a huge Sam Darnold guy, obviously. What's he coming back from? Just being bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
So who are you going with on that list?
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins.
Okay.
Personally,
if we're giving the award for what
Yes.
it's meant to be a given away for, then J.K. Dobbins. Like, Joe Burrow played half the season last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he came back from, shattering his, knee bone. Damar Hamlin played last year.
Right.
Christian Gonzalez, maybe deserving, missed the entire year, came back this year, played decent football at the defensive position. J.K. Dobbins has overcome so many injuries.
That guy's hurt all the time.
And was good this year. Got hurt again this year, but still played majority of the
Came
year.
back, yep.
Had 1,000 yards, I believe, rushing.
He did.
At the time the season started, he was the number one touchdown scorer. Obviously, Cook is now that guy for the Buffalo Bills who you'll play this weekend, but I think J.K. Dobbins gets it. It'll go to Joe Burrow.
It'll go to Burrow. It'll go to
Yeah.
Burrow or Darnold.
Because Burrow won't get the
Quarterbacks.
MVP, and they'll be like, oh, he deserves an award.
No, he doesn't.
The Offensive Rookie of the Year award is there's not a wrong answer.
I know. I don't know who the answer is.
I mean, it's
Bowers is legit,
Jaden
obviously.
Daniels, obviously, in the NFC Championship game as the quarterback. You
Right.
have an argument he could be in the MVP conversation.
How's he not in the MVP conversation?
Because he's a rookie.
He's a rook.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. Oh, that's right. He wasn't. a
CJ
rookie.
Stroud wasn't in there either.
No, it's not. Doesn't make sense. But
You could
that's
give
the
it
way
to
is.
Brian Thomas Jr. Who was he getting passes thrown to him, and he was that relevant in football? Mac Jones?
For a good portion of the season, Mac Jones was.
Bo Nix as a rookie quarterback goes to the playoffs, beat the Chiefs, I guess. I don't know. Malik Neighbors, who was his quarterback.
Right, he
stud.
was great
He was
this
amazing.
year. Yeah.
I
Malik
mean-
Neighbors actually should win it because he put up 1,000 yards with Daniel Jones and Drew Lock and Tommy Cutlets
And
throwing
then
him the football.
Brock Bowers, rookie of the year. I mean, he fooled everyone to think that he looks like he's 23. He's actually 40.
Yeah.
And plays like a rookie. Stud.
Wow, from the 913, was Ladd McConkey not on the Offensive Rookie of the Year list?
not.
That's just how good that list is.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
That's why I said
Wow.
the NFL is in great hands.
Yeah, how's Ladd not on that
How's
list?
Xavier
Yeah.
Worthy not on that list?
That's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. It's another
I mean,
great
it's
season.
obviously didn't put up those numbers that those guys did, but that's another
Well,
rookie in the NFL.
Yeah, but you got Mahomes, you got Kelsey, those guys will overshadow.
Yeah.
I think the offensive rookie of the year list is the legit one out there.
awesome.
The assistant coach list can bite me. The MVP can suck it. All these other things that are out there right now that are just so managed by these voters. Football writers are becoming like baseball writers, man, and that's not a compliment.
Mm-hmm. Man. Yeah, you look at that, you wonder why the NFL is continuing to move the needle times 1,000. Because those guys are coming up, and they're just in their first year. I mean, that's insane. Rookie quarterback.
Who takes
playing-
the step back of those 5 rookies? I would say Bowers because you don't know who the quarterback is, but he played great and you didn't know who the quarterback was this year, so it's not him. It's not going to be Malik Neighbors
I
because
think
anybody with air going through their lungs is going to throw him the ball better than what he had.
I think the safest take would be Daniels.
Yeah.
Just because video will be out, and I've seen what Stroud did last year, who had one of the best rookie years of all time, and Stroud took a back seat. He didn't go terrible. It was, but it's but what you've done, so in order for him to not, consider to take a step back, does he have to get to the NFC Championship game again? In your first year, you got to the NFC Championship game. If you don't get there next year, it's well, he was better last year. So, I think that's the unfair answer to, who would necessarily take a step back. Obviously, I mean,
everybody thought Mahomes was going to take a step back, too. And for 2 years, we talked about, the tape's out on him. And the tape was never out on Patrick Mahomes, right?
There was for about 7 weeks.
That's about it.
Yep.
And then he figured that out
Figured
as
it
well.
out.
So why, I know, and that's going to be the narrative with Daniels in Washington. But why does that have to be the narrative every year? Why can't we just say, hey, this guy played great, let's buy in? Everybody's well, let's just wait and see what these defensive coordinators do, half who get fired next year anyway. So, I don't know, man. Why can't Daniels arrive? Why can't we just say, yeah, this guy's legit?
This guy's legit, and the sky is legit for the NFL. Sky is never going to be the end of sight for the continued success in the NFL. That's for sky is the limit, ceiling is the roof, all of that. Plus Nate Taylor on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty on your new home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
Well, here we go. We're headed into championship game weekend at Arrowhead Stadium, and it is so exciting because everybody's going to be paying attention to the game, whether you're going to the game or if you are staying at home. And you need Hy-Vee to help you out as well with this championship game, whether you're tailgating or hosting that watch party. Hy-Vee has everything you need in one convenient place. It's so easy. It's where we go for everything. A huge selection of official Chiefs apparel and party supplies. They have endless tailgate and watch party food options, including wings and and pizza and specialty brats, chips and party trays, and Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes from the bakery. Love the Chiefs-themed cookies at the tailgate. So let Hy-Vee do all of your game day shopping with Aisles Online. Just place your order online and schedule a convenient pickup or delivery time, and Hy-Vee will take care of everything. Place your order today and get $10 off your $125 purchase with Hy-Vee's Aisles Online, only at Hy-Vee.
The action is heating up this playoff season at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Lock in your touchdown picks, check out trending parlays, and increase your winnings with profit boosts. New customers can get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win, and unlock 30 days of ESPN Plus. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code RADIO to get started today. Must be 21 and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In partnership with Hollywood Casino at Kansas Speedway. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies and so much more while watching the big game. And now Daisy came out with a Daisy French Onion Dip, a Daisy Ranch Dip, and these are a game changer. They're as good as homemade dips because they have real herbs and spices in them. They're ingredients you'll find in your own kitchen. So you need to get out to the store now and give Daisy French Onion Dip a try. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip everywhere.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with autopay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without autopay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, cause you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
What's up, football fans? BetMGM is giving you the chance to win up to $250,000 in bonus bet credits. It's all part of BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot, where you could be able to split the grand prize with anyone else who bet on the longest touchdown of the week. Log into your BetMGM account today and opt into the promo. Then place an anytime touchdown wager of $10 or more on the player of your choice, up to one player per game. If your player scores the longest touchdown of the week, you'll win a share of the $250K in credits. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada. BetMGM's longest touchdown jackpot subject to rules. See BetMGM.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. Subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are unrestricted rewards credits that expire in 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call Heartland Men's Health today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at Heartland Men's Health will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. That's heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
On the Kansas side, 35 southbound past Johnson Drive with an accident blocking the right lane, keeping things slow beyond 635 and sluggish coming down from 18th Street Expressway. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Right back at it, 8 o'clock hour here on Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey as well on 96.5 The Fan.
Mac, show your face. I got a text from a buddy of mine. He goes, who's the Keith Urban-looking dude that's on camera right now?
What? Keith Urban?
Have you ever been told you look like
No,
Keith
I haven't.
Urban?
I'll take it, though.
What about Keith Suburban? Because you live in Johnson County.
Aha.
You also said to cut your hair, but I like your flowing locks. So.
Appreciate it. It's time for a little trim.
Yeah, do what everybody else tells you to do.
That's exactly right, yeah. Vote for DeMar Hamlin for Comeback Player of the Year, Joe Burrow for MVP, and Joe Brady for Assistant Coach of the Year. Go do that.
I mean, I actually kind of support the Joe Brady, but...
Yeah, that would maybe Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn or who was the other assistant coach that wasn't Spags on the
Vance
list?
Joseph?
No, it was Brian Flores.
Brian Flores, yeah.
I don't know, man.
DeMar Hamlin being up for Comeback Player of the Year is bizarre to me.
Oh, I just pissed Alex Gold off. He's out there in the cubicle, and him and Cody are going back and forth, and I'm like, better chance at winning the Comeback Player of the Year. Who deserves it more, Joe Burrow, DeMar Hamlin? And Alex thought I was like trolling, and he's like, well, DeMar Hamlin was up for it last year. I said, and he's up for it this year too. He goes, no, he's not. And Cody's like, he is actually up for the award, actually. And like Alex like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He's like, we're just giving it to a guy that was like terrible last year, so then they're good this year. They get the award because like Flacco got it last year, right? Because he came back out of nowhere.
Yeah, but that's a different story,
right?
He led the Browns to the playoffs. He's had a monument built.
It's like, yeah, like so. Are we giving it to the guy that was necessarily ass in the league and then came back and had a good year? So like, as Mac would say, does it go to Sam Darnold under that logic, or do you give it to the guy that was injured, didn't play, and came back and was successful? If that's the case, it should go to J.K. Dobbins. Either way, here we argued about an award that doesn't matter.
I mean, but it's like, it's just when you start to think about it, like the Comeback Player of the Year and who should get it, and DeMar Hamlin being up for it. I mean, like that's like saying next year Kadarius Toney's up for the Comeback Player of the Year award because he stunk so bad and then went and played well. You know, for half a season somewhere, he gets up for, Player of the Year or Comeback Player of the Year award. Just because DeMar Hamlin played bad last year and didn't play much at all last year doesn't mean he's like, he should have been the Comeback Player of the Year last year. The fact that he stepped foot on a football field last year should have won him that award, right?
Agreed.
Yeah, it's like when Alex Smith woke it.
That's right.
Won it.
Yeah, but now that's over, man. Like that part is over. We're 2 years removed from that.
Yep. Next year, Rashee Rice is going to be my vote.
That's exactly right.
That's
yeah.
it.
And
that's who should win it. If he has like 1,200 yards and like 7 touchdowns, that should be your winner.
Well, it should be because he broke his leg. He came back and played well. I think it should go to somebody who's probably hurt that came back.
It's probably going to go to Daniel Jones when he starts at quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. He goes 14-3.
What if Daniel Jones does do that? Oh, my God, right?
The Chiefs win a 3-peat. Daniel Jones comes back and has the Sam Darnold year. My NFL career's over.
Let me ask you this: Who, if Daniel Jones goes 14-3 again next year, right, with this guy Kevin O'Connell, does he get like past? Does he pass Andy Reid and like quarterback guru Darnold, Cousins, Jones?
He'd probably get hired as the Dodgers' new manager. The Los Angeles Dodgers have hired Kevin O'Connell as their GM, manager, and owner.
That's exactly right. Yes,
that's exactly where that would go.
But I mean, seriously, like if he turns Daniel Jones around, my God.
I mean, he's obviously not going to start, but like that'd be just absolutely something. Absolutely something if that happened. Hell, you could even throw like Kareem Hunt in a conversation as Comeback Player of the Year.
Yeah, absolutely you could.
Somebody gets credit for that from the 913 on the text line. Don't want to steal somebody's thunder. We'll have Nate Taylor here in just a second as he'll join us as he is on the line. So, Mac, you know what to do. Let's get Nate Taylor up on the phone.
He's the only man in history to win a race in a hot dog costume and break the news that Chris Jones is back with the Chiefs.
I'll get on that, Coach.
Yeah, all right.
Here's Nate Taylor from The Athletic.
That's right, Nate Taylor, every Thursday at 8:25. It is presented by Mark Ferguson. We all make mistakes. Let Mark and his legal team make the best of them. 816-221-1750. Comeback Player of the Year, Damar Hamlin. What say you, Nate Taylor?
Sure, fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We've lost track of all awards. They don't mean anything.
Now, to be fair to Damar Hamlin, this is his first time as a true starter. He was becoming basically a starter when obviously he had the cardiac arrest in Cincinnati a couple of years ago. But, he's a full starter now. The Bills are a very good team. I'm not going to say they're good because, he's great. But he's a serviceable starter. It's hilarious that last year we gave this award to Joe Flacco because, he just said, hey, let's just play YOLO ball. And by the way, kids, it was amazing that he got the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs. But I understand that there's not a candidate that jumps out to you. And Damar deserves all the credit in the world for his perseverance and his willingness to try to make the most of his career after something we really hadn't seen in the modern NFL of a player's life, basically stop for a few minutes, just after a normal looking collision in the middle of the field against T. Higgins. But sure.
If you want to. How about Spags not being a finalist for assistant coach of the year, though? That's the one that kind of, rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, can you remind me? Because again, it
was Joe Brady.
I have not looked at this list.
Joe Brady, Brian Flores, Aaron Glenn,
Ben
Johnson, and there was one other guy that was listed on there as well.
Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah, the guy from Philadelphia who made lasagna during COVID when he was coaching the Broncos.
Vic Fangio.
Yes.
You look, Vic Fangio. I don't know who his press person is, his publicist, but man, Vic Fangio gets all the love. So I guess that doesn't surprise me. It is a shame because you're it's the same thing with Andy Reid. You're a product of your own consistent success, which therefore means what am I supposed to do with any of this? You're good every year. Or you obviously have a top 5 defense when you got rid of L'Jarius Sneed and Willie Gay's not on the team. And you have it's not like he had an infusion of rookies. I mean, he had Jaden Hicks, but, it's disappointing. If it was up to me, I think Liam Cohen is probably the best out of that group. That's who I would vote for because he stabilized and got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be even more creative than last year under Baker Mayfield. And as you know, it's unfortunate they lost in the playoffs, but it's not because of his coaching. It's just a few. I mean, we've learned this in all these games. It's just a few minor mistakes. So, the bot snap, the fumble in the fourth quarter against the Commanders really flipped the momentum of that game. I actually appreciate Liam Cohen being you know what? I don't want the Jaguars job. I like living in Tampa. I actually have a good quarterback. I don't need to develop, one that we've already given money to. And then the Jaguars yesterday was oh, maybe we should do what everyone's been telling us for the last month, which is you probably need a new GM and you need a new coach.
That's right. Andy Reid is a finalist for Coach of the Year, which is
congratulations to him. That's an achievement in and of itself.
Right.
Massive congrats to him. It's amazing that he has 300 wins, ladies and gentlemen. 300. There's basically 2 coaches that matter since the turn of the century. It's Bill Belichick and it's Andy Reid. So congratulations to him for being a finalist. He probably won't win.
No.
Talking about this game on Sunday, it's a big game for Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, but this is kind of like that Sean McDermott game too, because here he is 3 years ago, getting the first opportunity, still yet to get a win. It's AFC Championship time. Eventually, you got to get yourself and Josh Allen to the big game. How big is this that this game is for Sean McDermott as well that is just for Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes?
Because Sean McDermott is an Andy Reid disciple, because he's grown over the course of his career, like you said, Dusty, I think he's had better teams, right? I think the 13th-second team is honestly probably the best top-to-bottom roster the Bills have ever had during this run. And so it's unfortunate that they lost that game, and that partly due to his coaching, in those final 13 seconds. If not now, man, it's got to come sooner rather than later. I would tell Sean McDermott, hey, the reason you lost to the Chiefs in dramatic, heartbreaking fashion is because your special teams has not been good against the Chiefs. Just point blank. Like, Tyler Bass missed a field goal last year. You ran a Disney movie-esque fake punt to DeMar Hamlin when you had no business doing that. And, of course, hey, you didn't squib it. You just kicked it through the end zone. You are a defensive-minded coach. You let them get into field goal range. Josh Allen, I'm not necessarily concerned with, but I do think for McDermott, it comes down to, you've got to mitigate all the advantages that Andy Reid has based on all of his experience. So if the Bills win on Sunday, it will be a crowning achievement for him, for Brendan Bean, the general manager there, obviously Josh Allen. They will be, I believe, the presumptive favorites in the Super Bowl, which will present its own challenge. But, hey, man, figure out a way to cover Travis Kelce. Figure out a way to, not have, soul-sucking plays on special teams, and don't be afraid of the moment. I think the biggest sign of his growth, being Sean McDermott, is it's 4th and 2. Sure, we can kick a field goal, but, hey, thankfully you've seen it enough by now that we should probably go for it, because I don't want to give the ball back to Patrick Mahomes with a chance to win the game, or for the game to continue to be a one-score possession versus it being a two-score possession. So he's going to have to continue to do that, but make the right risky plays, not do something that is completely out of character. That will be his challenge on Sunday.
I feel like whoever has a turnover in this game is going to be the team that loses. I know it's so simple to say it that way, but the Chiefs haven't had one since the Buffalo game. Buffalo hardly turns the ball over as well. I feel like if one of these teams turns it over, that could be the difference in this thing.
It could. Now, I do want to remind people that, this is why I say I think that 13-second team was actually better. And, hey, I might be wrong. But the 13-second team was better because they had a much better consistent defense, when they weren't playing prevent with 13 seconds on the clock. It helps that you have Von Miller, who's obviously in, the Travis Kelce range of greatness. Gregory Rousseau's a very good player. I still think even if the Chiefs turn the ball over once, maybe even twice, they can still get down the field. I want to remind everybody, including you guys, we all saw with it was 3-4 minutes left, and we're just like, man, 8-point game. Okay, Lamar, let's see it. This is the time. He went right down the field, kids. And by the way, he didn't have Zay Flowers. He had Rashad Bateman. He wasn't even trying to throw the ball to Mark Andrews because of the fumble. And he had Isaiah Likely, and they went right down the field when everybody in the stadium knew, they can't use Derrick Henry anymore. We've actually got them in the perfect game script where, hey, we've made them one-dimensional, and Lamar Jackson went right down the field. So I know the turnovers in the first matchup are a little bit tricky because it's like, hey, you can't give the ball to the other team at midfield to start the game, Patrick. You cannot do that. And the second interception was, as Patrick said yesterday to us at the podium, that was more out of it's 4th down. I got to throw the ball. I can't take a sack here. So your risk obviously goes higher than it normally would in a normal game. I think the safeties can be beaten. That includes DeMar Hamlin, of course. Bo Nix, his best pass of the game was right over his head. So you have multiple weapons with Marquise Brown, Xavier Worthy, of course. DeAndre Hopkins should be more in the game plan. And then, yes, let's see if Matt Milano, once and for all, perhaps for the last time, can you cover Travis Kelce once when it matters? Because guess what, kids? I haven't seen it once in the postseason when it has actually mattered.
Nate, I want to bring this up because I think when you look at this game, it's so just fine-tooth comb where you can find an advantage one team or the other. That's why it's 1 versus 2. These are the 2 best teams in the AFC. But I would think the biggest advantage when it comes to this game, Chiefs over Bills or Bills over Chiefs, would be the Chiefs side on defense over the Bills. I think they just have the better defense. I think when you hear the cliches of defense wins championships and, when the playoffs start, defense becomes, much more modulated when it comes to the game. The biggest advantage, I think, in this matchup for me is the Chiefs defense over Buffalo's defense.
And to your point, Dusty, can you get more consistent pressure on Josh Allen than you did in the first matchup? There's reason to believe that because you will be at home, which means it'll be, very loud. The Bills will have to go on a silent count, and we just saw what that's like for, not a great offensive line in Houston, but it leads to 8 sacks when, Houston never had the lead. And again, once we know you have to pass the ball, our pass rushers can really get active. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest player that people should be talking about more is Charles Omenihu. He unlocks everything for George Karlaftis, and he takes less of a burden off of Chris Jones. Chris Jones doesn't have to be Hall of Fame amazing every third down. Now, he can obviously do it, here and there at a certain point in the game, and we watched that last week against Houston where he just immediately eliminates a potential, scoring drive for Texas and makes them push, punt the ball away. But I do think Charles Omenihu with the strip sack, his ability to go inside and outside, hey, unlike the first matchup, Josh Allen might be better contained in the pocket because you have Chris Jones, you have George Karlaftis, you have Charles Omenihu, you might sprinkle in Mike Dana or Tershawn Wharton as the fourth guy, and now it just becomes can you tackle? I think that was the other issue in the first matchup. The Chiefs had 13 missed tackles, fellas, according to Pro Football Focus, in the loss to the Bills. That is the most missed tackles they've had this season. Last week against Houston, I know Houston is not Buffalo, 1 missed tackle.
Wow.
So if you get pressure on the quarterback and he has to get the ball out sooner than he wants, now it's about rallying and tackling. If they tackle on Sunday, if they get pressure on Josh Allen, the Chiefs will go back to the Super Bowl.
I love the fact that you brought up Charles Omenihu because Dusty and I have talked for the last few weeks about the difference he's made with George Karlaftis. And Karlaftis is now 4 sacks away from being the all-time sack leader in Chiefs history in the postseason. Have you ever seen anybody benefit more from somebody coming back on defense than George Karlaftis has benefited from Charles Omenihu?
No. I mean, it's been really striking because the quarterback has to move off his traditional spot. Or I think the better way to explain it actually is, okay, if I'm getting consistent pressure from Chris Jones, I can move to the left or I can move to the right and sort of reset myself and figure out where my options are. But if you're doing that and George Karlaftis is chasing from behind and I can't really scramble as much as I want because Charles Omenihu is getting pressure. Oh, wait, why is this guy that is like a maniac chasing me from behind? That's George Karlaftis. Mm-hmm. It's happened to Russell Wilson. It's happened to C.J. Stroud. It's happened to a lot less quarterbacks since Charles Omenihu came back on Black Friday. And it's just been something that we've watched. I remember when the first game where you really noticed it was when the Chiefs beat Cleveland. It was the first game in that, 3 games in an 11-day stretch. Mm-hmm. And George Karlaftis had a very good game because oh, yeah, that's right. Now I can just chase the quarterback because we're getting pressure enough to where he's not comfortable in the pocket. And as Andy Reid said on Monday, guys, no one is as relentless in terms of down-to-down effort than George Karlaftis. That's why he got 3 sacks. It's not because, Steve Spagnuolo schemed up some great pass rushing plan. He was mostly just doubling Nico Collins, which, smart on you. But it's the relentless effort, the tenacity from Karlaftis to get to the quarterback because he understands, hey, once that guy's uncomfortable, I got all the time in the world to chase him down, and eventually I'm going to do it in a way that can really help the defense. It's marvelous that no one – I'm glad you guys are talking about Charles Omenihu, but I don't get that sense from a lot of people, even though I think he's been a real key to the defense being as good as it can possibly be. And even for Buffalo – I don't think you should see Najee Johnson much, but, they have Jalen Watson, they have Charles Omenihu. That's a very those are two very important pieces to the defense that were not available in November.
I just looked at Dusty, and I can't believe more people aren't talking about the addition of Charles Omenihu. It's night and day with that guy out there.
Yeah, it really is. And by the way, the Buffalo Bills, to give them credit, and to give Sean McDermott credit, hey, when you go for it on 4th and 2 and your quarterback does amazing work, it's great. That was the first team to snap the Chiefs' streak of holding opponents to less than 30 points since the Super Bowl, what was it, 56 or whatever, against the Philadelphia Eagles. It was basically 2 years, essentially. Ain't nobody scored close to 30 since that game. And, of course, as we've said before, you get Charles Omenihu back a few weeks later. You get Jalen Watson for the playoff run. The team mostly walked through Carolina. I think Carolina's the last team that scored 27 or more.
Yeah, they did. I'm looking at it now. That Carolina 27, then Vegas 17, the Clippers 17, Cleveland 7, Houston 19, Pittsburgh 10, and then the preseason game at the end of the year, which doesn't count.
Which does not count. Right, correct. So, hey, when Sean McDermott gets off the bus, and again, I think he needs to lean more on his offense than his defense. And again, please don't have your special teams screw the game up. That's been enough heartache for Bills fans. You got to come off the bus and enter Arrowhead saying, we got to score 30. Like, we just got to score 30, because once you realize it's a one-score game, most, if not all, the advantage swings to Kansas City. They've been in this game more than you. They have more experienced players. They have a guy that has come through in the clutch time after time after time. And, oh, by the way, he just happens to have the greatest receiving tight end we've ever seen at his disposal. And, oh, by the way, as much as Tyler Bass has improved, Harrison Butker is this decade's version of Adam Vinatieri. Like, you give him a chance to eliminate you, he will eliminate you. So get 30, try to get up and try to squeeze and put the Chiefs, on the back heel. But with this defense, it's hard, outside of Josh Allen being absolutely amazing, it's hard to see the Bills scoring 30 points when no one's done it. With this collection of group being this healthy, this rested. And, oh, by the way, I just want to mention this too, fellas. The Chiefs are the healthier team. They have no injuries. Right. They have literally no injuries. Everybody practiced yesterday as a full participant. And the Bills, understandably, because they didn't get the bye week, are trying to manage guys in the practice week. Like, let's not practice too hard. Let's get guys as healthy as we possibly can for Sunday's game. So you're not the healthier team. You're not the favorites. You're not at home. Somehow score 30. I don't know how it happens. Maybe it's turnovers like you guys have said. But this defense, I'd be surprised if they gave up 30 at home, even for as dynamic as Josh Allen is.
No doubt about it. And a little stat nugget before we get you out of here. Since Omenihu has been back, Karlaftis has 7 sacks. So something, obviously 3 last week. But
it's
night and day.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Incredible.
Nate, enjoy the best game of the year in Arrowhead one last time. And, let's get a W and go on to New Orleans and party together on Bourbon Street with some snowballs.
Yeah, exactly right. Nothing like hurricanes and snowballs.
That's right.
My Lord.
No doubt about it.
Better not be snowing when we're there, or I'm asking for a refund.
I feel like that had a different meaning back in the 80s. Nate, we'll take care. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thank you, fellas.
You bet. Nate Taylor, presented by Mark Ferguson. We all make mistakes. Let Mark and his legal team make the best of them. 816-221-1750. Coming up on the other side, we'll play something that Nate Taylor had to say there, plus Karlaftis and Bills players. That's the audio we'll get on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
What's going on, everyone? Mac Morey here. Good morning. You know what's going on. The Super Bowl's right around the corner. We all know it. So what's your plan? You to do the same thing you do every year? You ready to step it up? Let's try something even better. Well, get a Super Bowl experience like no other at the Verizon Super Bowl Fan Fest. It's coming to Kansas City live in the Power and Light District on February 9th. You'll get exclusive access to the stadium where your favorite players make history. You'll meet the game's most legendary players, all while enjoying live music and crushing some great game day food. The Super Bowl, it only comes around once a year. So who's ready to celebrate bigger than ever before? Tickets are going fast. Don't miss out. Visit your local Verizon store and find out about free tickets today. Must be 18 years or older to attend. Additional terms and conditions apply. See VerizonFanFest.com for details.
It's just not normal. The pain calls from chronic joint pain day after day. But some of you have dealt with that pain for so long, it's become your new normal. Short-term fixes are not working. Make the decision now to say no, not going to live with it. Get moving again in 2025 with help from QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, joint preservation. Yes, you can revitalize your joints with advanced orthobiologic treatments at QC Kinetics. No steroids, no drugs, no surgery. This is the future of medicine using an array of natural solutions like PRP to attack the pain from arthritis. Tens of thousands of people with pain have discovered these cellular treatments and they're living life again without that constant pain in their joints. Want to learn more about how you can refresh your joints, get lasting relief with these amazing treatments? Call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. 816-412-6299. QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299.
Booth Creek Wagyu, KC's premier Wagyu beef meat market, has even more convenient ways for you to shop. In addition to their location at 135th and Metcalf, they're now open at 95th and Knoll. Everyone deserves to elevate their beef. Whether you're looking to wow your family with a meal they'll never forget or impress your friends, neighbors, and coworkers, their Wagyu experts are ready to help you pick out something unforgettable. Booth Creek Wagyu, now with 2 locations, open 7 days a week, or at boothcreekwagyu.com.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
It's playoffs time, KC. Rally House has the Chiefs gear you're looking for, including Chiefs official postseason gear and the latest styles fit for the kingdom.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great.
Rally House, Rally House. It's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Gear up in-store and online at rallyhouse.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors.
Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
MD Anderson Cancer Center is again ranked #1 in the nation for cancer care by U.S. News & World Report's Best Hospitals rankings. Our physicians treat more types of cancers in a day than many see in their whole career. This unmatched depth of expertise, combined with our groundbreaking discoveries, gives our patients access to the most innovative treatment options. Learn more at mdanderson.org.
When Google Fiber first launched 1 gig internet right here in Kansas City, it cost $70. Cut to today. Over 10 years later, 1 gig internet still costs the same, $70. That's what you get with Google Fiber. Fast, reliable internet with simple, straightforward monthly billing. No data caps, no annual contracts, no hidden fees. Just a small local fee for the city on top of your flat, predictable price. Go beyond good enough. Go beyond fiber. Sign up today at fiber.google.com.
Championship Week coverage of the Chiefs and Bills on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Brought to you by Metro Ford, online at kcmetroford.com. Trouble on the east side, 435 northbound, just very heavy and slow. Problems begin for you past Truman, and it just crawls all the way up towards the river with an accident before the bridge, taking away all the lanes except the right shoulder. Just that one lane squeezing by right now. Attention drivers, Metro Ford's pre-owned inventory is packed with high-quality cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Plus, every eligible pre-owned vehicle comes with a 5-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Visit Metro Ford on Noland Road in Independence or shop online at kcmetroford.com. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Welcome back into 96.5 The Fan. Home for Kansas City Chiefs football. K-State Athletics. Royals baseball. Vern's Hot Stove just around the corner. That's right, baseball damn near here. Thank you, Kansas City Chiefs, for going on the runs that you go on. Next thing you know, you're going to blink your eyes, and February is going to be here next week.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden, you're going to be like, wait a minute. Why do I hear birds chirping and Matt Catrero on the radio?
Yeah,
because spring training
is here.
Oh, opening days in less than 2 months, probably.
Yeah, March 27th
or 28th,
something like that.
somewhere around there.
I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday about the polar bear, right? Pete Alonso.
Oh,
look, I think the Royals should sign him.
Stop it.
Nobody's signing the guy.
There's probably a reason for that. And, where's he going to play?
He can play first base. Vinnie can be your DH. Vinnie gets hurt a lot. You got to have a backup plan there.
But Alonso's going to want to play 140 games.
Vinnie can DH. It's fine.
Then what do you do with Sal when he's not catching?
You take a break. You'll figure it out. Things tend to work themselves out.
He's also going to want a lot of money.
Well, but who's giving him a lot of money right now? Do the Dodgers have any more deferred money to give to him?
Of course. The Dodgers want to go get him right now.
He's probably going to get one of these contracts that's going to pay him some money this year, and then there's going to be a bunch of opt-outs in it because he's probably going to end up going somewhere where he ultimately doesn't want to go.
I just don't want him to come to the Central. Don't go to Cleveland, because he's the kind of guy that you just hate to play against.
But this is the problem with Scott Boras, though. This is how he messes up baseball. This guy should have been signed before the holidays.
Oh, well, maybe his magna wasn't that hot. His liquid hot magma, as Eric Hosmer once described as.
We talk about all this stuff in baseball that's wrong. Scott Boras has killed the game of baseball more than anything. The best way to fix baseball is to ban Scott Boras.
Shayshawn Barkley. I swear, Shayshawn Barkley is the best. We survived the Giants, and now the Eagles got Shayshawn Barkley. Lord have mercy, man.
Shayshawn. We never heard of him.
Shayshawn Barkley. I swear, Shayshawn Barkley is the best. We survived the Giants, and now the Eagles got Shayshawn Barkley. Lord have mercy, man.
Lord have mercy.
Who was that?
It's a
Commanders fan.
Yeah. A Washington fan?
Shayshawn Barkley.
What does he mean we survived the Giants?
He survived the Giants.
Oh, he's talking about Barkley.
Yeah, Barkley.
I thought it was his team. I was like, what are we getting at here?
Survive Shayshawn, bro.
Somebody that the Bills have to survive is Charles Omenihu. And Nate Taylor had the quote here of the importance of one Charles Omenihu.
I think the biggest player that people should be talking about more is Charles Omenihu. He unlocks everything for George Karlaftis, and he takes less of a burden off of Chris Jones. Chris Jones doesn't have to be Hall of Fame amazing every third down. Now, he can obviously do it, here and there at a certain point in the game, and we watched that last week against Houston where he just immediately eliminates a potential, scoring drive for Texas and makes them push, punt the ball away. But I do think Charles Omenihu, with the strip sack, his ability to go inside and outside, hey, unlike the first matchup, Josh Allen might be better contained in the pocket because you have Chris Jones, you have George Karlaftis, you have Charles Omenihu, you might sprinkle in Mike Dana or Tershawn Wharton as the fourth guy, and now it just becomes can you tackle?
The other important note is, if I believe his first game back was that Cleveland Browns game, the first of all those many.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Or the Black Friday game, I guess you could say was maybe his first game back. Either way, like when he first got his, the pressure started to come around, guess who got their first career interception when he came back?
Trent McDuffie did.
Exactly.
Yeah, he changes the whole defense. And I said to you going to break, and you had a really good response, almost like, oh, yeah, probably right about that. I should have thought of that. But Nate Taylor said not enough people are talking about Charles Omenihu. I said, I can't believe not enough people are talking about him. And you go, because he's not a household name, right? And he's not a household name. He really –
But I talked about this yesterday as well. Yeah. It's like, how come nobody's talking about Charles Omenihu? No one knows who Charles Omenihu is.
But in Kansas City, everybody should know who Charles Omenihu is. I just don't get the sense that Nate meant national. I think he meant like everywhere. Like not enough from Chiefs fans is being talked about Charles Omenihu. He's a difference maker.
I think the problem that you get in this game is that the obvious storylines, and this is all about what you follow, what you like. Like some people are like, well, I want to hear what this guy's saying because he normally takes this angle. This game, there's really not a bad angle to take off and focus on. Like you could take the high road and, you could talk about Andy Reid's legacy. You could do what you like to say, the low-hanging fruit, and be like, this game's about quarterback versus quarterback, and just focus on that all week. Or you can dive a little deeper and be like, hey, since Omenihu's been back, Karlaftis has 7 sacks.
Yeah.
Since Omenihu's been back, Trent McDuffie's had 2 interceptions. Since Omenihu's been back, this defense looks better. And oh, by the way, he didn't play in this game against Josh Allen. And then Nate Taylor dives it in a little bit more and says, now you can kind of stop that up the middle run sort of look that Josh Allen can do in a delayed, RPO. If that's the case, then I like my chances with Josh Allen trying to make a throw in this game as opposed to knowing the right situation when to take off on his legs. Because to me, it's weird to say this out loud, but on third down, I fear Josh Allen's legs more than I fear his arm.
Well, that's the same thing the opposing fan base should have about Patrick Mahomes, though, too. I mean, like, if you're not going into a game as a Buffalo fan fearing Patrick Mahomes' legs on third down, then you've been doing this wrong.
Not necessarily
along.
Saying not fearing them, but like
no, I'm with you. I am 100% with you. I think the legs of these two quarterbacks on third down are more important than their arms on third down because if they get out, they know how to run. Both of them know how to run, and both of them run and crush your soul. That's what Patrick Mahomes has been doing since he came into this league and learned that obviously from Alex Smith for that first year. But Josh Allen does that same type of stuff. Like, there's nothing worse than being a fan and having 3rd and 6 and everybody's covered and the quarterback sneaks out and gains 7 yards and it's first down. That's a soul-crushing play for the crowd, and it's a soul-crushing play for those players, too, because, like, we did everything we were supposed to do. He just escaped and got outside and made a big play. And I've seen fans collapse when Patrick Mahomes done it, and I've done it when Josh Allen's done that kind of stuff, too. No, there's nothing worse than that play.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's just that's where you can literally disrupt the entire Buffalo offense because if you have Jones and Karlaftis on the outside, they have a better chance at getting around those tackles, or if they do want to run stretch plays to Cook, they have the advantage. If you want up the middle, Omenihu and Jones, advantage. If Josh Allen wants to sit back there, run RPO, and try to sneak up the middle or one of those, between the tackle runs, you do have Omenihu there. Then you also have the backup in your line. That's what I'm saying. Every level of this defense is affected by Charles Omenihu and the way that he gives his presence on the defensive line.
And the defense can't be good unless that defensive line is doing their job.
It all starts.
And they got better by adding Charles Omenihu back. Like, if we see this game and George Karlaftis has a couple of sacks, we're going to be praising George Karlaftis. But Karlaftis won't have those sacks unless Charles Omenihu is out there on the field because we've seen the difference that he can make. If Josh Allen doesn't run for a lot of yards, a lot of that has to do with Charles Omenihu allowing Chris Jones to play better because there's somebody now that has to worry about Charles Omenihu. It's all a trickle-down effect, and I think Charles Omenihu is probably one of the more unsung players, even from a Chiefs fan perspective, that are on this roster right now because I always think every year you look back and go, man, where would we have been without that guy? Charles Omenihu could be the answer to that question this year when they're raising Lombardi. Where would they have been if Charles Omenihu didn't come back?
Somebody in the text says, Charles is filling the spot that Carlos Dunlap used to occupy. It's a necessary component. I totally agree. Think about what he does for Felix and Duque Izamo.
Yeah.
Think about what he does for Wharton.
How good has FAU been since Charles Omenihu has been back, right? He's been a different player, too.
It's difference. Championship game coverage brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs. Coming up, we'll go to our Byron or Vinnie, Casey's Black Rock. We'll talk to him on the other side here on 96.5 The Fan on a show that we call Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty.
What the hell's wrong with your station?
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Well, here we go. We're getting closer and closer to game day, and that means you're going to be watching the Chiefs on Sunday. Whether you're going out to the game or staying at home, Hy-Vee has you covered with their aisles online. And I'm so excited for the AFC Championship game. I'll be running by Hy-Vee to grab some stuff for the tailgate on Sunday as well. And whether you're doing it at home or at the stadium, Hy-Vee has everything you need in one convenient place. They've got a huge selection of Chiefs apparel and party supplies, all that stuff, official Chiefs gear at Hy-Vee. And they have endless tailgate and watch party food options, from wings to pizza, specialty brats. Their brats are unbelievable at Hy-Vee. Chips and party trays, Chiefs-themed cookies, which I buy every single game week. And, of course, your Chiefs-themed cakes from the bakery as well. So let Hy-Vee do your game day shopping with aisles online. Just place your order, schedule a convenient pickup or delivery time, and Hy-Vee takes care of the rest. Place your order today, and you'll get $10 off your $125 purchase, only from Hy-Vee.
I wish I'd gotten treated for my erectile dysfunction sooner. Men, I hear this all the time from our patients. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, resolve to get it treated today and stop having it affect you and the one you love. ED is simply a medical condition, and it's fully treatable. And at Heartland Men's Health, we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. Which means if you're like most guys, your ED will be a thing of the past. In fact, you could be having great sex within a day or two of your first appointment, and you'll likely find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. It's the new year. Resolve to get your ED treated and change your life. Call us at Heartland Men's Health. Your initial visit is only $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, a Promenic restorative health practice.
Kansas City. Unfortunately, there's no radio sound effect for barbecue smoke, but there are low and slow snacks. The first ever smoked potato chip and cheese puffs using real hickory wood and real smoke. No smoke sound, tons of smoky barbecue flavor. Available at Price Chopper and Hy-Vee across Kansas City.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guaranteed details at TurboTax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
For over 87 years, GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, has offered health and dental benefits designed to meet the unique needs of federal employees and retirees, military retirees, and their families. With over 2 million members and growing, GEHA continues to serve those members and families who serve us all every day. At GEHA, your health is not our business, it's our purpose. GEHA, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Learn more at GEHA.com.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a Pick 6, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game, and tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Pour Downy in a rinse change. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Robsite Ford. Non-commissioned staff, low prices, best trade-ins, and the biggest selection. Visit robsite.com. 2025 is the year Robsite Ford makes history. With non-commissioned sales staff, the lowest prices on brand new Fords, best trade-in values, and the biggest selection, we've got it all. Visit Robsite Ford, the top-rated Ford dealership on Google. Robsite.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
East side 435 northbound recovering. Earlier problem up by the river has cleared. Delays still a factor, though, coming up from Truman and then heavy past Winter. But once you get to Front Street, things move at posted speeds. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric Traffic Center, Alan Carr, 96.5 The Fan. Traffic.
Hey, it's Trey Smith, and you're listening to the home of the back-to-back Super Bowl champs on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome into it. It is the 9 o'clock hour here on Fescoe and Dusty. This time in 24 hours, we'll be essentially so jacked up we won't even be able to stand straight. Cannot wait for Friday at 10 o'clock. Just getting completely after it. What time do you start boozing for the game on Sunday?
I don't drink on Sunday, so that'll be up to you guys to decide.
Oh, so you're just going to be just no booze on Sunday?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I got the pregame from 11 to 2, so it kind of works.
Yeah.
So I don't have the temptation.
And then 8 to 11 is Unicero?
Believe so.
And then you and Drew are 11?
I want to say 9 to 11.
9 to 11?
Yeah.
Okay. 9 to 11 Unicero, and then you and Drew until 2.
Yep.
And then the Chiefs coverage takes over.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go out to our guy, Vinnie Garofalo, here on 96.5 The Fan. Vinny, how are you? Last time we talked to you was a regular season game. Now we're into the playoffs where it really matters.
Here we go again, fellas.
I mean, it's wild. What's it like for you owning that Casey's Black Rock up in Buffalo, one of the big Chiefs bars in the United States? And it's got to be fun times for you up there kind of talking trash back and forth, huh?
Oh, God, it's never ending. This has been going on for 5 years now.
Yeah. So what's the feel from Buffalo fans, to be honest, with us here in Kansas City? I get a feel like Buffalo is a little subdued on this one.
They're very confident, I'll tell you that. They think that this year is different, but like I said, before, water is wet, the sky is blue, and we have parades in February. So I'm expecting the same result, honestly.
You guys got any specials for this week's game? Or are you guys trying to pump something out there like playoff themed, or what's the vibe like out there at Casey's Black Rock?
It's uncomfortable. It's super uncomfortable, as per usual this time of year. It's just business as usual for us. We're just it's a lot, with everything, and two teams, and just trying to keep both groups, playing nice. We like to keep things simple. We're just going to be just trying to keep the roof on the joint, man. Honestly.
But you're in the throes of it all, though, Vinny. Too, like you say, keep it peaceful, keep it calm between the two groups. I feel like both of these fan bases respect the hell out of each other, and I don't see many fans fighting back and forth. Not like the losers from Cincinnati or Baltimore or places like that.
God.
I mean, like this is like, all right, we like you, you like us. We got to play for 3 hours on Sunday, and may the best man win.
There is very much so a mutual respect between the fan bases. We've never had an issue with the bar ever, knock on wood. Both groups always play nice. I think, as much as the teams themselves, I think both groups are just mutually scared of one another at this point, that we're just waiting for this inevitable ticking time bomb to happen every January. And I think the stakes are, so high this time especially that, things aren't going to be any different.
Have you ever had like a brawl go down where like you had to get in there and be like, guys, it's not even the 2-minute warning yet?
I mean, the 13-second game was a little wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave out particulars.
Yeah.
But we haven't had any, nothing terribly serious.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of friendly banter.
That's good.
What probably my favorite part is the people from Buffalo that are diehard Bills fans that come into Casey's that have no idea we're a Chiefs bar. And they just look around and they're like, what the hell am I doing here?
That's right.
Which is a pretty fair reaction,
So what do you like best about a 5:30 start, being the owner of that place? Like, does it give you time to kind of make a little bit ahead of time, or like, would you rather this be a 2:30 start and get it over with quicker?
The later the better, just for the alcohol intake alone. If we get people going too early, then our nighttime could look a little fishy.
So
that's for sure.
How much booze will you go through on Sunday?
Too much.
I mean, not you in particular. I mean the bar.
Oh, I was talking about the bar, but I mean also that goes the same. Yeah, I mean we may not even be open Monday because we're a small operation. We keep things very simple. We over-ordered this week, obviously, for the big game, and we expect the bartenders to get a good workout for sure.
No doubt about it. I'm always interested to know, like, when you're seeing this from your point of view, do you, like, when the moment gets big in a bar and you got everybody packed up in there, because, I mean, we watched the Royals and Astros, or Orioles and Royals play this past postseason, and I didn't get to see it from, like, the bar owner's perspective, but, like, when there's a tense moment and the game's, like, at a pivotal point, do you watch the TV or do you split screen it with the audience and the television?
I mean, me personally, I'm glued to the TV, and we always make the joke that our sales plummet in the fourth quarter because everyone is just so engulfed in what's going on the screens that they don't even know what they're doing aside from that. So drinks, usually it's weird. Like the bartenders will ask customers, "Hey, do you want another one?" They're like, "No, like I'm fine." So we've historically sales get a little slow in the fourth quarter because everyone is just so enthralled in the game.
What will it be like for you on Sunday if the Bills should win this game and have that lead in the fourth quarter? Will it be a celebratory kind of time in your bar, or will it not be a celebratory time in your bar?
So we're going to be probably very 50-50 this weekend.
Okay.
We have our usual, 30, 40 people that come out that are diehard Rabbit Chiefs fans, and we love them. But then, there are people that are just going to come to Casey's because we're a Chiefs bar. And I think they kind of want to experience, all of that, what that entails. What's wild is you watch that game every year, and there's so many of each fan base that there's literally cheering on every play, no matter what. And I think it's such an interesting dynamic and such an interesting feeling to. There's just nonstop noise, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun, man. I can't wait.
I feel like that's how you should watch a game in a bar. Vinny, hey, man, have a lot of good sales this weekend. Have a safe time. Have everybody watch the game in peace, but also chaotic fashion, but nobody gets hurt. Enjoy the weekend, man, and maybe we'll get to do this twice again next year.
I hope so. I want to give a quick shout-out to my three homies in Kansas City, my boys, Bryson, 40, and Big Will. I love you guys. I can't wait to see you in February for the parade.
There you go. We'll be here for you, Vinny. Take care, bud.
Talk soon, guys.
Vinny Garofalo there from Casey's Black Rock, giving out his, what was it? Was his friend named 40?
40.
That's what he said,
Big
40.
E and Easy Ed or something.
That was that.
Yeah.
E40?
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, E40 and 40.
That's right. Yeah, all 40s.
40 ounces of freedom?
That's right. Could you imagine being in that? Would be fun to watch that game in that bar.
Absolutely. Like if we could ever do let's say they do this again, but it's in Buffalo.
Yeah.
We got to figure out a way to go.
Yeah.
It would be intense.
And I wouldn't want to go to the stadium. I want to be in that bar. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know if the Bills bar here does that kind of.
Where's that at?
Well, I think they watch at the Atomic Cowboy, is what I've been told by our friend Jimmy Gaffney. Now, he's obviously a Bills fan, so he knows. I think they go to the one downtown. There's one over on Metcalf as well. But I don't know if it's like that. Like, being a Chiefs bar in Buffalo is not like being a Chiefs bar in like New York or Philadelphia or a bigger city. Like, Buffalo's like Kansas City. Like, to have that kind of bar in a city where everybody's these born-in-the-wool Buffalo Bills fans. That's a little adventurous, I think you could say.
Yeah, because, I mean, it sounds like there's never really any sort of, like, scuffling. It sounds like it's just like, yeah, well, your team sucks. Well, your team sucks. Hey, guys. Enough.
All right, share a wing over it.
And then everybody's the same way. Nobody drinks in the fourth quarter.
That's crazy,
Whereas I'm the one that, like, consistently is walking to the refrigerator in the fourth quarter. And the garage. And outside.
Fourth quarter. Shut it down. Watch the game.
Yeah. Coming up on the other side, my favorite segment of the week. It's the Goldilocks here on Fescoe and Dusty with Mac as well. 96.5 The Fan, your home for Alex Gold.
You're listening to Fescoe and Dusty. Make sure to follow us on Instagram @TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes content from the show. Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Listen up, Missouri sports fans. I've got great news for you. Underdog is available to play in your state, and Underdog is the best place to cash in on all of your takes during the playoffs. Which players are going to go off and which ones are going to be ice cold. And with over 5 million happy players and 2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all of your favorite athletes' performances. With their Champs game, you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. Yards, touchdowns, interceptions, it doesn't matter. It's got everything. And they've got all your favorite leagues as well, plus teams and stars to choose from. And every Underdog deserves a second chance. And with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo if an early injury causes your entry to lose. This week, I love Saquon Barkley higher than half a rushing touchdown and Travis Kelce higher than 68.5 receiving yards. Underdog is the best place to play. Sign up and deposit now with promo code BOB and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. And if you're in Missouri, you'll get an additional $50 in bonus cash when you play your first $5 entry with promo code BOB. Must be 18 and over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. $10 deposit minimum. See UnderdogFantasy.com for terms and conditions. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
It's playoff time, KC. Join Cody and Gold Friday from 10 to 2 as they broadcast live from the Rally House at Oak Park. Shop the latest KC styles and official postseason gear, plus enter to win Rally House prizes while you're there. Details at 965thefan.com.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Right now at Wendy's, get 2 of these fave items for just $7. The spicy or classic chicken sandwich, Dave's single, or 10-piece nugs. It's an incredible deal, but an insanely difficult choice. Do you go double chicky sando, both spicy and classic, 1 beefy and 1 chicky? Or maybe you go all in on one and go Nug Max. 2 faves for just $7? Gotta be Wendy's.
At participating Wendy's for a limited time only. Select a request 2 for $7 deal to redeem. Not valid in a combo or with saucy nugs. Single item at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Paramount Plus is your streaming home for the NFL playoffs on CBS. It all comes down to this. As the Chiefs host the Bills in the AFC Championship presented by Intuit TurboTax. A trip to New Orleans is on the line. Sunday at 6:30 Eastern. Streaming live on Paramount Plus.
Welcome to TGL presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer-dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
Okay, so that's with bacon, cheese, lettuce, tomato, grilled onions, ketchup, and hold the pickles.
You know what you like. You wouldn't order your burger just any way. Why should your sports talk be any different? With Chapters on the free Odyssey app, you can choose the topics that matter to you most. Whether it's reactions, matchup previews, injury updates, or team news, quickly find what you really care about. Your football talk, your way. Download the free Odyssey app and start listening today.
Kids playing in a lawn sprinkler. That's fun.
Fire sprinklers. That's serious business. You seldom think about the fire sprinkler system in your commercial building, but Keller Fire and Safety thinks about sprinklers every workday, inspecting, testing, maintaining, repairing, ensuring that they'll work properly to protect people and property in case of a fire. Call Keller.
Keeping the fire marshal happy
Since 1950.
Keller Fire and Safety.
KellerFire.com.
Today, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 24.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Your local Staples store has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. Save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome back to Fescoe and Dusty on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. It's time for Golden Locks with Alex Gold.
Gotta figure out how to make money on this thing. It's simply too good.
All right, here we go. Alex Gold joins us now with Fescoe, myself on Fescoe and Dusty with Mac Morey, rocking the Rock Chalk Victory crew neck.
Yeah, man, why not? You know, I hadn't
Are you
worn it
going
in
to
a
hold
while.
on to the basketball as long as Hunter Dickinson did last night? What's that about, man?
He's
something.
I'm kind of done with the whole Hunter Dickinson thing.
I've been done with college basketball.
Did you see
for
this
years.
play last night, Bob, by the way?
No, I did not.
Oh, my God. I have
No.
to send it to you on Twitter. The two guys, TCU and Hunter Dickinson, they get a free rebound, and neither one wants to give the ball. Like 3.5 minutes of neither one giving up the ball grip on that ball. So
I was watching yesterday the documentary at 30 for 30 on the old Big East from back in the 80s, and I'm watching it, and I got hooked yesterday about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, all right. And it's marvelous. If you haven't watched that, you don't know what college basketball is or was or could have been. Watching that makes you realize how awful the product is today. College basketball is a terrible, terrible product.
I mean, I definitely don't enjoy it as much as I used to.
Unbelievable. You had the coaches that were characters, the players that were characters. They were all friends. They all hated each other. They all wanted to beat each other. They all loved each other. It was the best thing I've ever seen. And I went, what happened to college basketball? And you know what it ended up being? They talked about it at the end with the Big East, the conference realignments. And money got in the way, and football became so big that you depleted what was college basketball, the Big East in the 80s. And college basketball today is a waste of my time. It really is. I'll watch in March when the tournament comes around.
Get off my lawn.
But the play...
a little bit.
No,
Yeah.
It's not a
Terrible
good product.
product.
It's not a good product. Nobody can shoot. All they do is put up 3-point shots and miss, and the final 2 minutes of these games, they're brutal. It's a brutal sport.
Talk to me in March.
I agree partially with what he's saying.
It's not going to take away the plays, but the tournament's fun because it's live or die. But this crap now.
I definitely watch less college basketball now than I have at any point in my life.
Yeah,
like that's true.
February.
That's a big part of it here in Kansas City because of that. And a lot of it does go back to conference realignment, and then of course the replay review stuff. The final 2 minutes takes a half hour. All of that. But there's that first weekend of March. I think for a lot of people makes up for all of it. They enjoy the Thursday, Friday enough where they're like, okay.
And you're not coming back for the second weekend though, unless your team's still around.
Saturday's slate of college basketball is pretty good this Saturday.
It's just hard for me to the stakes aren't high yet. It's January in college basketball.
I normally
that's
get to
why
conference tournament. Once conference tournament starts, I'll really dive in.
You lose a conference game on January 10th. Like, who cares?
Right.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
There was a point in time. Don't get me wrong. Like 8 to 10 years ago, I would have truly been upset that Kansas lost to West Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay, at Allen Fieldhouse.
Right.
I'm like, okay, well, yeah.
It's changed. See, I'm not the only one. Spector, who was a diehard basketball fan when he got here, can't stand it. I mean, it's progressively getting worse as a sport. And then you watch the Big East thing, and you watch the coaches, just the characters. Like Norm Stewart celebrated his 90th birthday yesterday, or last week, I guess it was. And I'm thinking back to the days when I was in school, and he would come in, and we would chant "Sit down, Norm," and the rivalry was there, and the fun was there.
Don't you think so? So but don't you think some of this is just we all like nostalgia, and that's what it seems like. You're a big nostalgia guy.
I think,
we all like
the
it.
NFL is better now today than it's ever been. I think baseball's better today than it's ever been.
Ever?
I do.
No way.
With the pitch clock and all that kind of stuff, and speeding up the games and the pace of play, and there's more superstars now in baseball than we've seen in quite some time. Like, I like the game, like the Dodger thing itself. Yeah. I like where the actual on-field game is right now. I do. I love where the game is right now. I'm binging baseball. Football is great. College football is really good right now. College basketball just gets worse. It just continues to get worse and devolve and become a product that is not interesting whatsoever.
Well, let's get into something that is actually interesting for all of us. You had your betting show last night.
That one, yeah.
Which one?
That one. So any Chiefs talk yet? I know it's early. I know that the Chiefs and the what's going on? I'm seeing side eyes.
What did I do now?
No, you didn't. I jumped the gun. I jumped the gun on that. Anyway.
Yeah, you did. You screwed up the bit.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, "What? My bad.
Yeah,
my bad." Dusty threw me off by him saying it. Normally, we went in reverse order there.
Yeah. You're becoming college basketball right before my eyes. You're getting worse with age.
Right. But no, like what's 1.5, 2 is what this game is starting out of.
Hey, every half point in number matters. I think last week, we can go back to that for a second, is why when we discuss where's the line moving and how early you should bet it or not bet it matters. Look at last week's Texans game. If you lost money on that game, I'll be honest, like you weren't very smart with how you handled it. What I mean by that is the Chiefs were 8 or 8.5 point favorites the entire week. It closed as Chiefs 9.5 point favorites. We all know the sequence. The block kick got you your cover, and then ultimately the safety. If you had 9.5, you would have lost. If you were a Texans backer, you should have waited till closer to kickoff because the number wasn't going to go down. So you made your money. And then if you were looking to back the Chiefs, you had all week to back them at 8 or 8.5. So if you lost money because of the safety or whatever, frankly, you're an idiot. There was no reason you should have lost money. I had Mike Palm on my betting show last night.
Who?
And Mike Palm from Circa.
Okay.
On that betting show, Bob.
I was more concerned with who the guy was.
He's Ken's brother.
And, you said it like he's like, I had Andy Reid on yesterday, and he said.
In the gambling world, he's known. Anyway, so
Bob listened.
The books lost money on that game. It's one of the rare times where the books got middled, where if you were a Texans backer, you won, and if you were a Chiefs backer, you should have won. It was one of those games. So it does matter with where you get the number at. And a lot of books already have this game up to 2. So FanDuel is still -1.5 for Sunday night, but a few books have already put it out to 2. And I don't think we'll see it get to 3 because that's a key number. I'd be shocked if it gets all up to 3. But if you're looking to back the Chiefs, I wouldn't be waiting too much longer. Unless the injury news in Buffalo today is bad and all of a sudden we find out the 3 guys that didn't practice aren't practicing again, then maybe we see the line move some more.
Mm-hmm. So jump on it now is what you're saying.
If you're backing the Chiefs, now on the flip side, if you think that the Bills are winning outright or covering, you can wait because the number you might get an extra half point. Maybe it gets to 2.5 by the time we get to
the other thing
off.
I would say you have to act quickly now is that the Chiefs' best odds for you to make a ton of money off of them to win the Super Bowl is right now because they are plus 220. And now I know that Philadelphia is a favorite. I think you understand why as well as I do because they had the easier route, whereas Buffalo still has to play Kansas City. Kansas City still has to play Buffalo. What I said to Bob earlier is like they're plus 220 right now. Buffalo's plus 260. I believe Philadelphia is like plus 175. Whoever wins this game, Buffalo or Kansas City, will then jump to the odds-on favorite to be the favorite to win the Super Bowl. So if you're going to get the Chiefs at the best odds, it would be right now. Now, the parlay that I really enjoy that I'm thinking about doing on Friday is you can pick your matchup, obviously, for the Super Bowl.
That's
We're down to
fun.
4 teams. So right now on DraftKings, at least this morning, Washington versus Kansas City was plus 950. So if you think that's going to be the Super Bowl matchup and you think the Chiefs are going to win, that's where I think you could really get value. I don't know what you think about where you get into the futures of like 2 weeks left in the season, but I think that's a good point to make is if you're going to take teams that you believe, pick your matchup now.
If you believe the Commanders are winning and the Chiefs are winning, then for sure, I mean that's one way to do it. I mean I think the same thing could be said with the MVP market. If you believe the Chiefs are winning on Sunday night, Patrick Mahomes is plus 250 right now to win the MVP. We all know for the Super Bowl. Yeah. So if the Chiefs get to the Super Bowl, we know you're not getting plus 250 on Mahomes.
No,
he'll be minus 115, minus 120 to be Super Bowl MVP.
Not to cut you up, but what will the favorite be? The AFC, the winner of this game. What will their number be to win the Super Bowl? Will it still be plus like 100, or will there be a minus?
The odds have just come out, actually.
Yeah, the look-ahead lines, like Bob was about to say, the look-ahead lines are already out there. I mean, you can bet these, and remember, if you bet them now, and the Chiefs, the matchup doesn't exist, it voids out. Now, the one thing that doesn't void out is the MVP. If you put an MVP bet right now on Mahomes, that's depending on the book, that's action no matter what. So you would lose. That's the risk on the MVP market, at least at FanDuel. But the Chiefs would be 1.5-point favorites against the Eagles, according to FanDuel look-ahead line, and the Chiefs would be 4.5-point favorites over the Commanders in the look-ahead market.
Yeah, I'm looking at Chiefs to beat Eagles to predict the exact outcome. Chiefs beating Eagles is plus 350. Chiefs to beat Washington is 7-1.
Yeah. So, and you said you had 9-1.
Yeah, 950
for the matchup.
For the matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, no, those are fun markets to delve into. You just got to be, you want to look, it'll tell you when you make your bet, like for the look ahead lines, it specifically says void if not scheduled. But on the MVP market right now, it is all bets have action regardless if the player's team takes part. So you just want to be a little cautious. But if you're confident that the Chiefs are winning and you like Mahomes to win MVP, then yeah, plus 250 right now is as good of a number as you're going to find.
What else are you looking at in the AFC Championship game on Sunday that you like?
So I love the total over. I think this is going to be a different game. I know the week 11 was still 51 points, but I mean a different game in terms of I believe the Chiefs are going to march down the field throughout. I don't think this Bills defense is shutting down Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. And I understand we're in Kansas City and you're like, okay,
so you predict a blowout real fast?
Not a blowout, no, but I think the Chiefs are going to move the ball. The secondary is weak in Buffalo. They also have some injuries, and the Chiefs already faced the best defensive front that they're going to face in the postseason. And so Joe Thuney and Caliendo in the passing game, I think, will hold up better than they did against the Texans, which should give some opportunities for them to finally, get the wide receivers involved. We all know Worthy was the only receiver to have a catch, wide receiver that is to have a catch. And so I don't think Buffalo can keep up with the speed from Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy. I really don't. And they're going to play a lot of zone. They don't play much man. And so I think there's opportunities in space for those guys. And so it would not surprise me if we're watching and the Chiefs are moving the ball on this team. The question will be more, what's the Chiefs' defensive answer to Josh Allen and Buffalo this go around? Is Jalen Watson going to be the difference maker I think we all believe he can be in this matchup, because Najee Johnson was not a good matchup for the Chiefs case on the Week 11 matchup.
Yeah, you're very convincing right now for me. I'm listening to all that. I'm like, boy, this sounds like it should be a blowout, but we all know they have Josh Allen on the opposite side, and we said it yesterday, anything you can do, I can do better, or at least try to do it better. I think it comes down to the first quarterback to make a major mistake ends up losing this game. I don't know if it's that simple or not.
Well, we all know neither quarterback's turning the ball over. Mahomes hasn't turned it over since the Bills game. So sure, I mean, it sounds so cliche and everything, but that's exactly how the playoffs have played out. I mean, not just in the Ravens-Bills game last week, where I actually thought the Ravens played better than the Bills for the most part, but we all know you can't turn the ball over multiple times. And I think it's the teams that won the turnover margin in the postseason so far are 7-0.
Well, I mean, that's common sense. That's what happens.
Right, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know it's like, oh, yeah, my take is, guys, they got to win the turnover battle. But, like, in the playoffs, yes. I mean, that's what I agree with you. When you have teams that are pretty evenly matched, although I still think, as I was saying, there's some areas the Chiefs can exploit this go-around that they didn't have, whether it's the wide receivers or Charles Omenihu, we all know didn't play. I don't think if you're a Bills fan, despite winning the regular season matchup, like, I don't think that means anything at all, not just because they've always lost in the playoffs, but truly the personnel is way different a couple months later now than it was then.
Yeah, so looking in this game, I know there's some people that'll bet a straight ticket, like they'll just take Mahomes passing yards, Kelsey receiving yards, Hopkins receptions, and Pacheco rushing attempts. That's just a one-sided ticket. Some people do that. Yeah. Some people like to mix it up. What's Buffalo? Like, Joe Mixon kind of cooked last week. Cook's obviously been better. They got their right tackle back that Capaccio mentioned on our show yesterday. Are there Buffalo props that you like in this game as well?
Definitely. Yeah, so we've talked about the tight ends a lot on the opposing side throughout the season.
That's where Cody's new song came from.
That's right. That's right. Dalton Kincaid wasn't in the Week 11 matchup either. I don't have to tell you guys the Chiefs are worst yardage given up in football to tight ends. They give up the 15th most touchdowns to tight ends this season as well. So I take a look, and Kincaid's 35.5. That's up a point from last night, actually. Up a full yard from last night. So
from that betting show?
From that one, yeah.
Which one?
That one. 35.5.
There we go. What's the rushing line on Cook?
Right now, you can get...
Because what Mixon have last week, 87?
Yeah,
something
Cook,
like that?
55.5. 55.5 for Cook.
I don't like that. What's Allen's? I know I'm just giving you like...
No, you're good. 47.5 for Josh Allen.
47.5 for Josh Allen.
That's a big number, I think.
Wow. And Mahomes, what, 23.5, 24?
24.5. And we all know last week, we didn't get it. I'm going back to the well.
Popped up, Daddy, so you know he's running.
I'm going back to the well though on the rushing back. Last week we talked about taking the over on rushing. He had the 12 and a half, whatever it was, the 12 plus yard run Mahomes did that got over the 11 and a half longest rush attempt for the game. I still think there'll be opportunities now that you don't have Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson where
sure.
I think Mahomes will take off more. But 47 and a half is a lot of yards. The question will be, what's the answer for Spags? We all know the 4th and 2 run that Josh Allen had. Is that Leo Chanel? Is that who's going to spy? And we all know the athleticism that dude has. He's a freak. So
we've got 14 straight games now with Travis Kelce over 70 yards receiving in the playoffs, which is an NFL record. On Underdog, they have his over at 68.5. I'm hammering the over on that
just
one.
have to out of principle.
Well, out of principle at this point, right? But with Matt Milano, I mean, like, how does that change? We talked about Matt Milano for years, and he's never done anything. He's never played. He's hurt again.
He's got a leg bicep.
And now he's got a leg bicep, which I don't know what that means.
It's
but
bicep hamstring with a slash, so it's two different.
His arm and leg are hurt.
Like
hamstring soreness.
Yeah. So, I mean, how does that factor? Because I think Kelce, again, could be his last game at Arrowhead ever, so I think he's going to have himself a party.
Now, I don't think he'll be as open in space as I don't know what the hell the Texans were doing in that particular game.
The refs were allowing him to get a 5-yard lead.
That's true. That was right. They were told to make that happen. No, I think you have to bet Kelce for sure. The defensive plan for Buffalo, I mean, given the history, Travis Kelce in Week 11 didn't have a huge game, but in the past in the playoffs, and specifically the AFC title game, I believe the 70-plus yard number that you just mentioned, Bob, I believe it's actually, for the AFC title game, it's even higher than that. I believe he's got a stretch where it's over 85 or 90 in these AFC title games receiving. So he's even better in an AFC title game. I don't
because
believe
big players show up big in big moments. It's what it is.
I think it'll be a tougher task for Kelce this go-around against Buffalo than last week, just because the Bills are not going to just leave him open in the middle of the field. Right. But with that said, because the Chiefs, I think, will create some problems with Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy, that eventually in the game, I think, will all of a sudden open some things up for Kelce. But just out of principle, how can you not like if you may just say you don't want to bet Kelce, but I don't know how you could take an under. On a Travis Kelce bet.
Well, he's washed. Just listen to what people have said for the last 2 years.
He's so old.
So Travis Kelce has played in 6 AFC Championship games.
All right, what's some of those numbers?
So we'll go from most recent to the.
Think about what you just said right there.
That's right. 6 AFC Championship games. That's right. Last year he had the 11-11 for 116.
There you go.
The year before that he had 7 for 8 for 78. Cincinnati the year before that 10 of 11 for 95. Before that, against Buffalo, 13 receptions, 15 targets. That's where those numbers come from. 118. And then the other 2 years, 3 for 4, 30 yards against Tennessee, 3 for 6 targets for 23 against New England.
So, so what is it? The last 3 or 4 AFC title games, he's averaging like 85 to 90 yards
116, 78, 95, 118.
In fairness,
and a touchdown in every single game.
In fairness, in that New England game, that was always the guy that Bill Belichick schemed to take out. Travis Kelce did not do great things against the New England Patriots. That was the guy that they always took away. And then who was the next AFC Championship game that you mentioned there? The second Buffalo
Tennessee.
game?
Well, there was Tennessee at 3 catches.
Tennessee
he had 3 catches for 30 yards, but that was like the run and the Sammy Watkins play. And then after that, it was like, okay, like here it is. 13 catches, 118, 2 touchdowns against Buffalo. 10 catches, 95 yards, 1 touchdown against Cincinnati in the loss. Then 7 catches, 78 yards, a touchdown against the Cincinnati Bengals. And then 11 last year on 11 targets for 116 and a touchdown.
Yeah. So he shows up big because he's not washed and he knows what matters, and that's January. Travis Kelce will have himself a monster game.
So if you want
Sunday.
the total, he's had 47 receptions for 55 targets, 460 yards, averaging 9.8 a game and 6 touchdowns over AFC championships.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah, that's just absurd. That's why he's the best tight end in NFL history. Someone on the text line was asking about defensive props because Karlaftis is...
Those are weird.
He's got 7 sacks, and what is he, 2 away from all of a sudden being just like that
he's
top
4
10?
away from tying Frank Clark for the most all-time in Chiefs playoff history.
Chiefs history. I'm talking entire NFL. I think he's 2 away from being top 12 or something like that in the playoff. It's something ridiculous like that. It doesn't take much with all these games.
No, it doesn't.
Karlaftis is plus 162. Anytime you can get a sack number at plus money, it's kind of attractive. Chris Jones plus 144 to get a sack. Karlaftis plus 162. And between the two, in a weird way, I think I'd rather bet the Karlaftis number with Omenihu and Chris Jones getting a lot of the attention.
Oh, God, yes. So I think Karlaftis is absolutely getting a sack.
And it's always like
game.
0.25, right? Because you can get half.
On some sides, yeah. This one is a flat out
never
full sack.
parlay them.
Yeah, this one's a full sack
Okay.
at plus 162. I think you can get 0.25 sack, so a half sack basically is what they're saying. At, plus 105. It's not as good of odds.
What do we like in the NFC matchup? I know that's Philadelphia.
Yeah.
There's a lot of props there. Probably a lot of Saquon, a lot of Daniels, a lot of McLaurin. You hammer the hammers, right?
You do. I don't think Jalen Hurts been playing well though. That's my only concern
So you
with
take
him
the unders
through
on
passing.
him? Yeah.
On passing numbers, I'd be interested. I know the Commanders' defense struggles, even though they won last week, and I did not think they were going to win. We talked about could they cover and everything. And Jaden Daniels looks like he's just one of those dudes that's going to have his team in every single game.
Right.
But that defense, they have to force the turnovers because I understand it looks like they shut down the Lions. They forced 4 turnovers to their credit, but Jared Goff was awful.
He was terrible.
So they're not
interception in the end zone,
stopping. Like
too.
if Jalen Hurts is not turning the ball over though, are they capable defensively of stopping them on the ground? And that's the thing. If I'm the Eagles, I'm not throwing the ball that much. I don't think Jalen Hurts is right still in terms of the passing numbers. So I look at the passing props for Jalen Hurts, and right now his yards is sitting at 179.5, which seems like a really low number.
But they're like undefeated when he goes under like 115 yards. Ballard was telling us that.
It's crazy. And so I don't like a lot of the Jalen Hurts props this week. The number is so large now, though, for Barkley.
What is it?
125.5. But
take the under. Yeah, I mean that's what you'd have to do.
He falls in the Kelsey category for me now, where it's like don't bet it. Well, or just don't. If you don't like the over on Barkley, then don't bet. I mean, because he is in the fourth quarter a 60-yard run away from just screwing your bet up, like
he did last week.
Like he did last week. So if you're not betting the over on Barkley, I don't know how you can really bet the under.
What's the number for him?
125.
Yeah, you got to go the over. I think if Philly wins, he has to be the focal point of the offense. Yeah,
that's exactly right.
What's Daniels' passing numbers?
Jaden Daniels is sitting at 222.5. I like the over there. I also like his rushing though. He's at 54.5, which is a large number, but he
runs.
That's a number he's been hitting consistently. We all know the formula. He's like on a 4th and 1. There are a lot of times they're doing the bootleg action with Jaden Daniels. Like he of course is everything for them. So I think whether they get blown out, whether it's a close game, he's going to have a massive statistical game.
Do you feel more comfortable in the over in that game or the over in Buffalo, Kansas City?
Probably the over in the Buffalo-Kansas City game, actually. And they're both sitting at around the same number, 47.5. I think for me, it's the fact that I believe Kansas City is I think they're moving the ball on this Bills defense. I really do. And we're looking at quarterback play. Like, what if the Eagles, Jalen Hurts, it's a slow day, they kind of just drag this thing on? I could see them slowing the game down a little bit. Whereas the Commanders have no problem, obviously, marching down the field. I just think that the pace of the Chiefs and Bills game could be actually a lot faster and more frenetic than people have seen in a while from this Chiefs offense.
Can Buffalo, though, put up those kind of numbers against this Chiefs defense? Again, Week 11 is about as relevant as Week 1, right? So can Buffalo put up numbers against a really good defense?
Yeah, that'll be, if you're a Bills fan, if you think they're winning, the answer I think is obviously yes to that. I was looking at the total points where things are sitting for the Buffalo Bills, because that's another way to bet this. If you don't think the Bills are holding up their end of the bargain to get the over, the Chiefs total points is sitting at 24.5. The Bills sits at 23.5. I mean, that's why the game's a 1.5 point spread or whatever, so it's close. I think the Chiefs are going over 24.5 points.
If I'm sitting here today on a Thursday making a bet, I'm absolutely taking the over.
And that's
on
even
that
money right now, whereas the Bills 23.5. I'm not saying the Bills can't get to 24 and the Chiefs don't win something like 31-24 or something, but I feel more confident the Chiefs offense can get to 24 points. And I know, as you said, like, people will be like, well, they only scored 21 in Week 11. No Hollywood Brown, Wanye Morris was playing left tackle in that game. I mean, we can go on and on and on.
Yeah, Week 11, anybody who's, again, I've said this morning a couple of times, anybody who's using Week 11 as a reason why this is going to happen or why that's going to happen is dumb.
So 3 touchdowns, you're thinking, give us 2 touchdown scores, 1 for each team.
Yeah, so Kelsey, got to go back to the well on a touchdown prop
Plus
for him.
125.
Plus 125, not a ton of great value. Then if we go further down the board, I'm going to go back to
Noah Gray, who had 2 touchdowns last time they played.
No, I'm going to go, this one's way off the radar. Samaje Perine.
I see it.
Samaje Perine's 11-1. He, of the last, I think it's the last 15 games, when he has a reception, he goes over 7.5 yards. That's another bet I like, but an anytime touchdown. Perine out of the backfield. Everybody's focusing on Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. It's a sprinkle. Like, don't bet any more than you normally would on it or anything. Small little sprinkle. Perine to score a touchdown this game, 11-1. It's a playoff game. Yeah. Weird things happen. Weird playoff performers step up, and a little something there. I like that better than some of the other value bets. Like, the problem with a bet on DeAndre Hopkins, he's barely getting on the field, and I'm only getting at 3-1. I got to get snaps. Like I thought last week D-Hop was going to play a lot, and he didn't. I don't know what the heck's going on. He says he's healthy.
But I'm sure he is. But this is the postseason. You go to the guys that have been there with you. You go look at the guys who impacted that game on Sunday or on Saturday. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt, Chris Jones, and Xavier Worthy. Those are the guys that you've been kind of working with all year long and have been here through this whole run, right? Those are the guys that are going out there and that are going to produce for you. And I think that's when you get into the playoffs. You don't expand your playbook at all. You simplify and say, what works?
Juju Smith-Schuster, 12-1 to score a touchdown anytime.
I love that.
I don't know why. I don't know why,
He's
dude.
barely get on the field, too. That's like,
I know.
It's tough. When you're only getting, let's say, like 12 to 15 snaps, and you better hope that they're throwing the ball to him in that right spot. That's just tough. I mean, that's why the odds, I guess, are what they are.
A very addicting segment. That's why we've gone long. So I want to ask you this. Tomorrow, the text line, there's been one number asking.
Okay.
Overland Park Rally House 10 to 2. You're giving away 2 $100 gift cards, right?
That's right. Rally House, time to get geared up for the game on Sunday. Oak Park location, of course, the building. Some people always get confused. The building says Kansas Sampler. It's Rally House. And yes, 2 $100 gift cards. You're going to have to earn at least one of them. You might want to do some singing practice.
You got to out-sing Coty Tap?
No, but you need to start looking up some Taylor Swift lyrics and be ready for that tomorrow.
And then what do you got coming up today?
Yeah, so we'll have Matt Verderam from Sports Illustrated joining us, and we'll talk about, I think, what everybody feels, but I don't know if it's a Kansas City bias thing, which is the winner of this game, right, feels like everybody agrees is winning the Super Bowl at this point. So we'll dive into that a little bit more. And one of the difference makers that we didn't discuss even here that's going to be in this game on Sunday.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
No problem. Thank you for all the information. Now I'm going to go in to get my own head and try to see what I'm going to bet, including a Juju Smith-Schuster anytime. Bob Fescoe, Alex Gold, he coming up on the other side. We'll get to the end of the show, wrap a bow on this thing, and then we will do everything to get you set up for a Red Friday here on Fescoe and Dusty. 6.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.
Fescoe and Dusty. Subscribe and watch the show on YouTube by going to our channel at The Fan 965, Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan.
Kansas City barbecue lovers, you hear that? Yeah, I don't either. Because this ad called for barbecue smoke sound effect, and smoke doesn't make a sound. I think I know what Low and Slow Snacks, the first ever smoked potato chip and cheese puff company, was going for here. All of their snacks are covered in a secret barbecue rub and then smoked with real hickory wood to get real barbecue flavor. So while there's no smoke sound, there's a ton of smoky greatness in each bag. Low and Slow Snacks. Real wood, real smoke, real barbecue. Now available at Price Chopper and Hy-Vee stores across Kansas City.
I want to tell you about my new obsession, Daisy French Onion Dip. One of my guilty pleasures during football season is eating dips with chips, wings, and veggies, and so much more while watching the big game. And now Daisy came out with a Daisy French Onion Dip, a Daisy Ranch Dip, and these are a game changer. They're as good as homemade dips because they have real herbs and spices in them. They're ingredients you'll find in your own kitchen. So you need to get out to the store now and give Daisy French Onion Dip a try. Look for Daisy French Onion Dip everywhere.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, everyone. Mac Morey here. That's Super Bowl right around the corner. So what's your plan? Are you going to do the same thing you do every year? You're ready to step it up and get exciting. Try something even better. Well, get a Super Bowl experience like no other at the Verizon Super Bowl Fan Fest. It's coming to Kansas City live in the Power and Light District on February 9th. You've got exclusive access to the stadium where your favorite players make history. You'll meet the game's most legendary players, all while enjoying some live music and crushing some game day bites. The Super Bowl, it only comes around once a year, so let's live it up. Let's celebrate bigger than ever before. Tickets are going fast. Don't miss out. Visit your local Verizon store and find out about free tickets today. Must be 18 years or older to attend. Additional terms and conditions apply. See VerizonFanFest.com for details.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Ad paid for by Anthem Tax Services. Attention! If you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you, but you must call 800-217-1316 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-217-1316. That's 800-217-1316. Again, 800-217-1316.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi, golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, playoffs on the line golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com. Tune in every week for TGL matches. Keep up, it's golf.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Paramount Plus is your streaming home for the NFL playoffs on CBS. It all comes down to this, as the Chiefs host the Bills in the AFC Championship presented by Intuit TurboTax. A trip to New Orleans is on the line, Sunday at 6:30 Eastern, streaming live on Paramount Plus.
Championship week coverage of the Chiefs and Bills on 96.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer partner of your Kansas City Chiefs.
Just so happens we had Alex Gold just on for the betting information there. And then today on our Instagram, you can see it. Kramer always does the work. Best bet. That's what we have to do today, by the way.
Best bets coming out today,
right. Kind of liking that Samaje Perine touchdown.
That's a cool one. That's a nice little, I'm in on
juice. I always like to do like a parlay, and then I like to do like a shot in the dark type of bet, like a Kelsey 2 touchdowns or Mahomes 2 total touchdowns, rushing, and I guess you have to do 2, like a throw in a rushing touchdown for Mahomes, or maybe you do the hammer the big money on what you think's gonna, like Chiefs -2. Got to have a lot of money on that. Boom, there you go, -110. Let's win some money.
All the Player of the Year awards honors came out from the NFL, the Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year, all that kind of stuff. The only finalist for all of these categories that has a member of the Kansas City Chiefs on it is
Andy Reid.
Coach of the Year, Andy Reid. He's the only member of the Chiefs to be a finalist in any NFL award category that will be handed out, the Thursday or Friday before the Super Bowl. And Andy Reid is the only member of the Chiefs organization to be a top 5 finalist in any category. That includes MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, Assistant Coach of the Year, Coach of the Year, like all those big honors. Andy Reid, who's never won Coach of the Year, is the only member of a 15-2 franchise that is a finalist for one of these top awards in the NFL.
Can you cash your bet out yet?
I have been trying.
It doesn't let you.
It has not given me. It has not given me an opt-out option. Now, today with the top 5, maybe it'll change a little bit later today. Yeah. I can win $255 if this thing hits. I made on Andy Reid month night before
all
the season.
That on the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's only $5 to start with.
I know $5 would give me $255. That's a hell of a return.
Mac, you're probably asking yourself, what am I going to do once football's over and the season ends? February 18th, there's a documentary coming to Netflix called Court of Gold, following Team USA, France, Serbia, and Canada during the Olympics in 2024.
Hell yes.
Could be kind of interesting.
That's awesome. I love that, man.
Yeah, so the 4 teams, the USA, the France team, Serbia, and Canada will be followed in this documentary of the Paris Olympic men's basketball tournament through their eyes of the greats.
Is this becoming kind of what Hollywood's doing and just doing remakes of everything now? We're just going to have like following teams around for the year stories type of stuff?
This is kind of like a niche thing. This isn't just like the season that is this year's season. This is like the Olympics. Like I'm like watching it. There's like former presidents, current presidents. There's like young kids that just got drafted, like Wembanyama going to the Olympics. There's celebrities, dinners, all that. It looks very interesting.
Yeah.
Like it's probably more interesting than watching an NBA game during the season.
Well, obviously. I mean, paint drying is more interesting than watching an NBA game.
You thought he hated college basketball.
No, I'll watch the NBA before college. They're much better players than what the college game offers.
We got a really tough guess the Chiefs player on our Twitter handle today.
Oh yeah, give me the first clue.
No, this is literally the first clue. Quote the Shark.
Yeah.
Is he banging the drum this weekend? No, that's Clark Hunt will be banging.
Yeah, always in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shark. They should have led with like the other way.
What's the other one?
The last clue. Went to the University of Michigan.
Oh, that could be anybody. Right. Yeah.
58.5 sacks.
That could be. A lot of people would say DT, right?
Three-time Pro Bowler. Now you're like Neil Smith. Now he went to Nebraska.
Right.
Then it's the Shark. But we led with the Shark.
We led with the Shark, yes.
That's like being Buffalo Trivia. Nickname, the Cannon.
Yeah.
Shoot, who is this? That's Josh Allen.
Clearly the answer to that question is Anthony Hitchens.
That's right. I think they would call... Yeah, never mind. That's rude. I need to stay nice. Are you starting to feel better or the same about the game on a Thursday at 9:51 as we wrap this show up?
I've felt the same since Sunday. We're going to win this thing, and it's going to be great. Yeah, I'm feeling. I'm not changing. There's no reason they're losing this football game. And listening to Alex talk over there about all the ways they could exploit the Buffalo defense. Like if you're Buffalo and you were like I was listening like from a Buffalo fan perspective because I do that a lot. I take the approach of the other fan base to how would I react if this was being said about my team. Mm-hmm. And if I'm a Buffalo fan and I was listening to what Alex said, I wouldn't even show up on Sunday.
Yeah, he thinks the Chiefs are going to move the ball. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, for a guy that literally, like, all he does is sports radio and gambling and a little bit of, like, KU basketball nowadays, I mean, he's got something there. He's dug something up that gives him that sort of belief. I mean, he's a very intelligent young man. Like, he's not just going to go out here and be like, oh, they're going to score. Like, he didn't say they were going to score, like, 48 points and the game was going to be a blowout. He said he'd love that, but he thinks the Chiefs will be able to move the ball. That's why I think when we talk about this tomorrow a little bit more in depth, time of possession is key, man, because I don't believe in the nonsense of you can score too quick.
Oh no, I don't either.
But I don't
believe you also hold back and not score.
And I also think that there is a saying that you have to score at some point quicker than you have been scoring because one thing Buffalo has shown us, right? Look back at their game against Denver. Bo Nix, what was it? Like 4 plays, a 47-yard bomb or a 60-yard bomb over the top, and then Buffalo got the ball, and it was like 4 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards. 8 yards, 3 yards. Little by little, drove down the field, still scored. Denver was like, all right, crap, we scored quick. They scored methodically. They drove down, whatever.
Kind of like the national championship game Monday night. Like when Notre Dame went down the field, you would have thought the Ohio State defense was going to be gassed after that, but it was the Notre Dame quarterback that was gassed and ended up costing them the game for all intents and purposes.
And that's the thing is I think the Chiefs can also methodically go down the field and score.
Yeah.
And they can do it in 4 minutes or 6 minutes or hell, even 7 minutes. But if Buffalo finds themselves consistently having to put those drives together, eventually the time of possession will not be a factor because you'll have to tell yourself, okay, there's only, 4.5 minutes left in the first half. We're not getting the ball in the second half. Again, I go back to the coin toss and who gets the ball first and being a value of this game. If there's 4 minutes left and Buffalo's average drive has been 5 minutes and 48 seconds, now all of a sudden they have to kind of change up their game plan, go down and score. That's where you get your interception. Right. That's where you might get your mistake. That's where you see Omenihu be a force, and all of a sudden somebody gets a strip sack or something, and then that's where that can be so valuable because then the Chiefs get that turnover, whether it's 3, whether it's 7, and then get the ball back in the second half. Man, we're almost feet on the ottoman.
Yeah, right, exactly. And if you're able to get that double score at halftime in the second half and you score 2 touchdowns in that thing, then yeah, it probably is over, at that point in time. But again, you just can't make mistakes. It's this game is not that hard to figure out. I think coaches overthink this stuff all the time. My friend Joe and I talk about this all the time. Like these coaches are there 18, 19, 20 hours a day doing what? Overthinking. Here's what we're going to do. Patrick, go throw the football. Don't make any mistakes. Chris Jones, go get the quarterback. We'll see you on Sunday. I mean, it's not that hard a game to figure out. Just do what you need to do. Don't make mistakes. Don't give the other team an opportunity, and you should go out there and win this game. And the Chiefs are just a better team from 1 to 53 than the Buffalo Bills are, including coaches at this point in time.
ELGSES Eagles! Let's go, Birds!
That's right. Go do something nice for somebody today. Never know. It could change their day, week, month, or even their year. It's simply cool to care. Kansas City, stay safe, stay kind, stay warm. Coming up 10 to 2 with Cody Gold and Drew on 96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City Sports.